Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody that's in the building early. Real quick, we got a super chat off the rip. Shout out to Janesta Coleman, who always supports the channel. Make sure you guys show her some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You guys already know. All of the super chats, all of the memberships all get directly reinvested back into the platform. And I use that to spend time cooking up dope tracks for y'all. All right. So make sure that you guys show her some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat for her. We got Mr. Knock in the building. What up with it, Mr. Knock? Good to see you as always, bro. And we got my man Jared Allen in the building. All right. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to expand on the Andrew Tate and his discovery of world correctness, because like my man Jared Allen said, the world is correct. And we prove this time and time again. Every time we drop a video, every time we do a live stream, we always come to the conclusion that the world is correct. And Andrew Tate is one of those people that just doesn't believe it. He thinks that he can do anything. He thinks that he can say anything. He thinks that nothing is going to happen. Well, nothing happens until it does, right? But before we get into that, we're going to look at two articles real quick because I thought these were hilarious. You guys will get a kick out of this. Right as I was getting the stream set up, I got two emails, both of them from Blaze. Democrat Congresswoman introduces bill to prosecute white supremacists, inspired hate crimes, and publishing hate speech such as replacement theory. Now, here's my question. Who cares? Let me ask you guys a question. Which congresswoman do you all think is the one who proposed this nonsense? Because last time I checked, words never made anybody bleed. So what this is another attempt to try to exploit us as if we're low IQ and putting this out there as if it's something that's substitutable for what we've been asking for, a quote-unquote hate crime bill. This isn't a hate crime bill, and this isn't something that covers specifically Black Americans who are targeted at the number one and the highest increasing rate of hate crimes here in the United States. Now, give me a guess. Who do you guys think came up with this nonsense? There's your answer right there. You guys recognize her? Who is that? Like somebody's auntie. Who is that? Like she just came from church. Like she just came from Ebenezer Baptist Church. You know what I'm saying? Had a little plate of red bean and rice and came up with this. Sheila Jackson Lee. Now, what is this going to do? And who does this protect? White supremacist inspired hate crimes. Well, the problem with this is that anytime there's white supremacist hate crimes, literally everybody says that those hate crimes aren't white supremacist. And then when they're white supremacist hate crimes against Black people, like what happened in Buffalo, somehow it turns into anti-Semitism. And we take the element of Black completely out of it. So the real question is, what is this going to do? Who is this going to help? And who asked her to put this in place? Because then what ends up happening is then the white people start crying about it, saying that us wokey dokes want to restrict their free speech. We know how badly you guys want to say the N-word. And as long as you're not around somebody that'll bust you in your face, say what you want, do what you want. You want to burn crosses and fly your Confederate flag and drive your four-wheeler with it flying, bumping Dr. Dre like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Hey, go for it. I wouldn't advise you to do it in the hood. And nobody really cares about your free speech because we're not listening to anything that you say anyway, except for your nonsensical media so we can make reaction videos to it, ridiculing how stupid you are. So continue. This isn't something that anybody asked for. Out of everybody that's in here, did anybody ask for this? You guys need protection from white supremacist words? They've burned down neighborhoods, tar and feathered people, fed children to alligators, made furniture, soap, and many different things out of black people. Do you really think we need protection from words? If you guys think that we need protection from words, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that we need protection from words and you guys think that this is stupid, give me a thumbs down. But what you guys should understand is that when we look at something, just because it came from a black person doesn't mean the intention for it is to be beneficial to specifically black people. Because remember, quote unquote, the Democrats, quote unquote, are the party of inclusion. So basically, what this is something veiled as a protection for anti-black racism. And what it actually is for LGBTQ people, immigrants, women, marginalized groups. Remember what I had said a long time ago. When you get a bunch of white liberals, a bunch of white supremacist leftists running around talking about white supremacy, it's time to start changing up the terminology. The same way that people have changed the terminology and are now calling black Americans foundational black Americans, we need to start calling white supremacy something like black containment, anti-black attacks. Because now you got white women who benefit from affirmative action who at about 50% are against it and 50% are for it. You have them sitting there saying that it's because of the white supremacist patriarchy. This is insane. No, what happened with Curry at the White House, Mr. Knox? Which Curry? Who are you talking about? You talking about Steph Curry or are you talking about Kamala Harris? Which Curry are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So now here, this says Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee has introduced a bill that seeks to criminalize and persecute any quote unquote white supremacist inspired hate crimes. Texas Bill H.R. 61 says it is to prevent and prosecute white supremacy inspired hate crime and conspiracy to commit white supremacy inspired hate crime and amend Title 18 United States Code to expand the scope of hate crimes. Now, here's my question. If the police are part of white supremacist organizations and there's white supremacists that are part of the organizations that are supposed to be prosecuting this, who's going to prosecute this? Who's going to be doing these prosecutions? You guys, is that a valid question to ask? Say, for instance, we looked at Ahmaud Arbery, right? You got the district attorney, Jackie Johnson, who is networked in with the McMichaels family. In that situation, when we have people like, you know, Oath Keepers and Proud Boys who are part of the police department, part of the feds, part of the U.S. military, I mean, okay, this sounds good on a piece of paper, but if those are the people signing off things and hitting the gavel, who's going to actually prosecute them? Who cares? So what is this actually going to do? This is nothing but fluff. This is nothing but pandering. This is nothing but a talking point with nothing behind it. Because it's not something that's going to be enforceable. The police can't even enforce prosecuting hate crimes because the FBI came out with a report that said that many police departments have white supremacist infiltration. And if it's the police and the Justice Department that's supposed to be prosecuting these things, if they are indeed white supremacists, now we have a situation where the Internal Affairs is investigating their friends again, which is always what it's going to be. So now here it says the bill's short title is the Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023. Okay. And what the white media does, white media, especially like Glenn Beck and Blaze, is that they attempt to make white people fear that black people are talking about all white people when they talk about white supremacy. despite the fact that it's very evident that we use names and we do targeted videos and say exactly what it is that we're talking about in order to stir up white hysteria, which is very easy, especially seeing how all of these guys have such a huge platform and can reach millions of people on a daily basis. They use this kind of terminology to stir up white hysteria. So now here it says the bill states that a person is engaging in white supremacist inspired hate crimes when white supremacist ideology is involved in planning or is a precursor of the act itself. This is where the bill seeks to criminalize hate speech and social media posts pertaining to vilifying non-white people or groups. So again, how would this bill have protected the people in Buffalo is my question for everybody in the chat. Anybody got an answer for me? This bill that Sheila Jackson Lee is so brilliantly proposing, how would this have stopped any of the bullets that Peyton Gendron's gun expelled from piercing the hearts and brains and vital arteries of any of those people in Buffalo? How would this have prevented this? How would this have acted as a bulletproof cloak to prevent hate crimes, especially when you saw that as the investigation went on further, it showed that the FBI was aware of what he was going to do. And then later on, there was an attempted hate crime allegedly in Idaho that was going to attack a white LGBTQ festival, and the police were competent all of a sudden and able to stop that from happening. So basically what this tells us and what this shows us is that the police, the government, basically the entire executive branch does what they want. And they're also going to be the ones doing the prosecuting. So if you have a white supremacist judge that wants to play your defense, like Kyle Rittenhouse, or like the Asian judge who was taking care of Kim Potter, making sure that she had a nice, comfortable position, what does this bill matter? What if you have a racist DA like Jackie Johnson who's networked with the people that just killed your relative? How's that going to protect anything? Now, here's the question. All of those questions that I just asked, do you think that Sheila Jackson Lee is aware of those questions? Do you think that Sheila Jackson Lee has thought about that? Have those things ran through her head? Shout out to JD Informant. What's good with it, bro? I would hope that they have, right? I mean, that would be being a responsible politician. And I got to agree with Janesta. It's not going to protect anyone. If you guys agree with Janesta, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says a conspiracy to engage in white supremacy inspired hate crime shall be determined to exist, the text reads, between two or more persons when at least one of whom published materials advancing white supremacy, white supremacist ideology, antagonism based on replacement theory, or hate speech that vilifies or is otherwise directed at any quote-unquote non-white person or group, such as published material, the bill explains. Now, we need to ask ourselves the question, who are non-white groups? Because there are white people that get to pass as non-white people. Latinos are Caucasians that get to be white when they're around black people, and they get to be people of color around black people. Arabs are Caucasians that get to be white around black people and people of color around white people. So who are these non-white people that they're talking about? This isn't an FBA specific hate crime bill. This isn't something like what was drafted up for the AAPI community. And all this does is protects you from a piece of paper. This is nothing more than a restraining order that's even less enforceable, because this will be coming at the, I want to say, the state level. The text also says that a person who publishes content that could be viewed by a person who is predisposed to committing hate crimes could also be committing conspiracy. So how do we know who's predisposed to do something? I mean, when it comes to the news, literally the news always talks about how great these people are. If you listen to the news, shout out to Sugar Bum. What up with a Sugar Bum? Long time no see. When you listen to the news, none of these people are predisposed to commit any hate crimes. When you're talking about Peyton Gendron, he was such a nice boy. Ethan Cromley, he was such a nice boy. Was that kid's name in Chicago that shot up that fair? He was such a nice boy. Everybody's such a nice boy. And remember, despite the fact that all these things happen, Salvador Ramos, he was such a nice boy. All of these people are such a nice boy. And they're all unrelated, despite the fact that they all occur in a similar way. So what is this actually going to do is the question. The bill defines this as material published on social media platforms or by other means of publication with the likelihood that it would be viewed by persons who are predisposed to engaging in any action or furtherance of a white supremacy inspired hate crime. Now, what I find fascinating is that this is something that they would use to prosecute somebody like Kyrie or Kanye West. They would never use this to actually prosecute a white person. All the black people online who call themselves conservatives, this would be used to prosecute you. It's not going to be used to prosecute anybody else. This will be used to prosecute somebody like that black dude who was at January 6th. Everybody who wants to play that we're all in it together as men game. All these black dudes who get their rocks off by getting around white people and saying, oh, well, I lean to the right. Or those people that always, anytime we're talking about racism, we're going to start acting like that quote unquote small group of them folks ain't Caucasian, to take the focus off of white supremacy. You're going to get prosecuted. They're going to say you're being anti-Semitic. David Duke is still going to have his job. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Finance Man. What up with it, bro? They're going to say he still got his job. So now here it says the Department of Justice would also be directed to maintain a database of white supremacy inspired hate crimes and related actions. Why aren't they doing that already? Didn't the FBI, shout out to Christopher Perkins. What's good with it, bro? Didn't the FBI come out with a report logging where a lot of the white supremacists are, which is in law enforcement? Why do we, again, so what this is basically saying is suggesting another study. We know that a lot of the white supremacists are concentrated in the fire department, in the medical field, in law enforcement, in the media. We know where they are. It's common sense where they are. In most cases, they're in positions of power. Look at Jerry Jones. So the Department of Justice has not been maintaining a database of white supremacy inspired hate crimes and their related actions. How do you keep track of groups like the KKK or the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers? And where's the information that's coming out in the media about these people coming from? If we're not keeping track of that stuff. We Live on the Table said there's mayo soups in the fire department. Amendments to the Hate Crime Prevention Act would include adding the following text. Mass shootings and other hate crimes motivated by white supremacy have been increasing in frequency and intensity. These heinous and virulent crimes are inspired by conspiracy theories, blatant bigotry, and mythical falsehoods such as replacement theory. And I disagree with this. These mass shootings are a result of their families. These mass shootings are a result of their culture. These mass shootings are a result of what they sit down and eat seasonless food and talk about every night. They're not a result of any of that other stuff. The United States was built on a culture that perpetuated billions of families that practice things like Mormonism. They're parts of organizations like the Daughters of Confederacy. They're Adosos. They're American descendants of slave owners. They're American beneficiaries of racism and white supremacy. It is in the fabric. It is in this country's DNA. You can read it down to the codons. Shout out to DSB. What up with it, bro? All instances must be prevented and severe criminal penalties must be applied to their perpetrators. Yeah, like all of the police that we see not get any consequence, right? If this is what they want to do, then do it. So this is just a nothing burger. What they're doing right here is they're ramping up a bunch of paperwork and they're ramping up a bunch of signatures so they can do the same thing that they plan on doing with that church. See, this is what we did for you. Well, I'll tell you what you guys did. That was a net negative nothing. You know what I'm saying? That was a net negative nothing. So now here, this college professor says that he may lose his job over quote unquote completely fabricated racism, hate speech claims after speaking out against the school's quote unquote radical equity initiative. And I'm about to snag this article right here about the mom and pop brothel. And we'll be talking about that when we do the next Crime Cast broadcast, which will be coming up soon. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys smash the like button. Also, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, take a moment, make sure you guys hit the bell icon twice, and please share the video out to your social media. Shout out to DeAndre. What up with it, bro? So what I find fascinating, and I want to ask you guys a question. The white left has gone so far to the left. They've gone so radical and ridiculous. They're R&R, radical and ridiculous, that they've actually worked in tandem with the right to open up the floodgates to where the right can say anything as racist, as vile, and as vile as they want to. And it's almost somewhat rational because of how extreme the left is, which has created a dangerous environment here in the United States because now you have blatant open racism given the appearance of common sense because of how idiotic the Democratic Party has become. This isn't an accident. The clown show of the Democratic Party and the increasing white nationalism of the right is not an accident. They work together. When it comes to white people, they have a choice of left or right. When it comes to us, the left and the right unite in order to maintain that bottom floor. They're just competing ideologies when we're taken out of the equation, which is why we have to be against both. DeAndre said, Robbie coming up with the acronyms. I still call them the goofies of politics. Super facts. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, still GOP. After a homeboy rode on that dude. Did you see that? That Republican politician hired some people to shoot up some Democrats. We're dealing with actual thugs out here. You know what I'm saying? The guy's name is Solomon Pina. And I'm trying to figure out if Marjorie Taylor Greene was hanging out of the window talking about still DRE. Crip walking on in her high heels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember you from Duke and Don, bro. Duke and Don still over there doing their thing. Look at this. Look at this. Here go my question. If MGT is based, what do that make Dr. Dre? What did that make Dr. Dre?
GOP former candidate for New Mexico's legislature is now in custody on suspicion of planning several recent shootings at the homes of local Democratic elected officials. Police say Solomon Pena.
Man, these are thugs. These are thugs. Banging the blue and red. No different than the Bloods and the Crips. except for they called themselves doing it legal, and they called themselves civilized. Remember, this is the same group of people that called a war civil. We have a civil war. There's nothing civil about war, but leave it to them. You know what I'm saying? They'll talk themselves up about slaughtering each other. You know what I'm saying? How civilized they were when they did it. A civilized war. How does that work? War is a sign of barbary and savagery and de-evolution. But when it comes to the United States, it's civil.
Even tried to take part in one of the attacks. But as NBC's Garrett Hake explains, the AR handgun he tried to use malfunctioned.
I thought these people were Second Amendment advocates. How to gun jam? That's a rookie mistake. White people are always talking about black people having bad aim. White people love to make jokes about the little black kids that get shot up in the hood because they say N-words have such bad aim. But this dude right here not only is a Second Amendment supporting politician, but this clown couldn't even get the gun to work. He hired some bunk hitmen. How lame is that? Then they would have been riding around the neighborhood, bumping still DRE, getting Dr. Dre caught up in a RICO case. But this is the same group of people that when NWA came out were working to censor NWA. Now they sitting around talking about freedom of speech. You see how karma is, and they don't want to be accountable for it. We've never done that. We're the people that are about free speech, of course, unless you're NWA. But if you're NWA, we want to play your music unauthorized. Yeah, that's based. It's like they smoking bass.
This morning, a former Republican candidate is behind bars in New Mexico for a string of shootings allegedly targeting the homes of local Democratic officials.
These shootings were orchestrated. They were dangerous attacks, not only to these individuals, but fundamentally also to...
So they were banging. Listen, the Republicans, man, they were gang banging, acting like some rowdy thugs on the House floor, and now they're hiring people to go spin the block. What song do y'all think they had playing? You think they had Bone Thugs and Harmony Shoot 'Em Up Always? Was they bumping Shoot 'Em Up Always and Marjorie Taylor Greene had her gun hanging out the window with Marlon Wayans from Don't Be a Menace? She had on a Raiders hat backwards with her AR-15 hanging out of the window. And she had on some blue bandana print skirt and heels. Shout out to my man Mike Mellis John. And then was sitting up there talking about I don't engage in thuggery, and I don't like the way rap music treats women. You like the way rap music treats women because you're the kind of woman that rap music talks about. You love the way rap music treats women. That's why you chose Dre.
Were orchestrated. They were dangerous attacks, not only to these individuals, but fundamentally also to democracy.
Police arrested Solomon Pena on
homes of local Democratic use malfunctioned.
To democracy.
Jared, you made me mess up. Look, nah, they was bumping, creeping on the come up. It was probably No Surrender though. No surrender. And you know Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't wait to say the first verse. She was probably on some super white girl shit. My nigger, just handle your business. What? I was singing a rap song. What? You can't be mad at me like Bone Thugs and Harmony made it. What? They're trying to cancel my free speech, and all I was doing was singing a rap song. What? That's based.
Police arrested Solomon Pena on Monday, describing him as an unsuccessful legislative candidate.
He had complaints about his election. He felt it was rigged. So he approached all of these commissioners and the senators at their home with paperwork claiming that they were.
Shout out to my man TD Hip Hop Media, catching some late night plebiscite babble. You understand me? we up here roasting some Republicans and about to roast Andrew Tate and his onion-headed ass in a minute. You know what I'm saying? We got the plebiscite babble going on at 1:29 in the morning. You understand me? Shout out to all my plebiscites out there. You understand? If y'all understand me, throw a thumbs up in the chat. You understand me?
there was fraud.
Back in November, Pena lost his race for state representative decisively. In his last tweet, posted nearly a week after the election, he expresses his support for former President Donald Trump while writing, quote, "I never conceded. Now researching my options." Now, police are accusing him of conspiring with and...
See, I told you that we never conceded. They was playing no surrender. And I bet you Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote a corny 16 bars. She probably was singing it in country tune. All sounding proper, just messing everything up, trying to sing Busy Bones verse. Let Bone Thugs and Harmony sing it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Turn the MP3 player on and let it ride. They was probably playing that too. On the way to the shooting, they was all piled up in a little, you know, the Republicans got to go to the opposite direction. So the Democrats riding around in a little electric clown car, you know what I'm saying? One of those little Mini Coopers. And the Republicans had like a semi-tractor trailer Chevy Silverado with quad diesel engines, you know what I'm saying, that also burns coal as a backup because, you know, like the Democrats got to be extra with the economy. So they had a little Mini Cooper that runs on water, and the Republicans had some kind of fossil fuel that leaks toxic waste out of it in a truck with dual jet engines, you know what I'm saying, driving down the street. Swing down, swing just up and let me ride. Trey like, man, I wish they would quit playing my music, man. I thought I told them.
And paying 4 other men to shoot at the homes of 2 county commissioners and 2 state legislators.
After the election in November, Solomon Pena reached out and contracted someone for a amount of cash money to commit at least 2 of these shootings.
On January 3rd, the date of the last reported shooting, police say
look at this. They're trying to self-snitch on everybody. You hear the police officer mention cash money? They trying to tie it back to Trump and Lil Wayne. You see that?
Money to someone for a amount of cash money.
See, that's why these rappers got to get smart, man. Dre was smart with that. Shout out to Dr. Dre. Cut that off at the roots. Don't let these politicians get you all caught up and have you sitting in court like Gunna. You know what I'm saying? Have your boy there talking about I'm gonna snitch.
To commit at least 2 of these shootings.
On January 3rd, the date of the last reported shooting, police say Pena joined.
Look at that. He got that Bloods hoodie on right there. He T-walking, you know what I'm saying, for Trump. You know what I'm saying? It look like an offbeat square dance, but that's how they get down. You know, the Crips do the C-walk, you know what I'm saying? The MAGA Lords, they do the T-walk. You know what I'm saying? And it looks weird. Sometimes medical people drive up, like if it's an ambulance that happen to drive by and they see the MAGA people out there about to bust out a drive-by shooting, they'll stop to make sure that nobody's having a seizure. That's the same kind of gun I have. You know, if you loosen the screw around here in the back and cock this gear back here, you can spit out 3 bullets in 1 second instead of 1. All right, have a nice day. And drive on off because one hand washes the other.
Joined the men, attempting to fire at one of the homes himself, but the weapon he used had malfunctioned. That morning, less than an hour later, police confiscated weapons connected to the shooting from a vehicle registered to Pena. The driver was also arrested.
The evidence that we have is not only firearm, but it's also from cell phones and electronic records, surveillance video, and multiple witnesses.
Over the course of a month, police say 4.
They had him on cell phone. They had him on surveillance video. You know what I'm saying? There was eyewitness accounts. But it was a photoshopped MAGA shirt because anytime they do anything ever at all, anytime, at any point, anywhere, it was a crisis actor. Because everything is a crisis actor, except when black people commit crimes. That's the only time when it's not a crisis actor. You know what I'm saying?
4 homes were damaged, 2 sprayed with more than a dozen shots. Fortunately, no one was injured.
This type of radicalism is a threat to our nation, and it has made its way to our doorstep right here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I believe, when it happened, yes, I'm still shocked. When it happened, I knew that it was, that's what we see most pressing was people being aggressive around denying the elections. So I feel like, yes, I feel like it was due to really larger people thinking that, that this is possible, that this is okay, our elected officials, that putting violence when we're in a position like this. Yeah, he came to my house after the election, and he's an election denier. He weaponized those dangerous thoughts to threaten me and others, causing serious trauma. Yeah, he was saying that the elections were fake, that really
The elections are fake. You know what I'm saying? Him getting arrested right now is fake. C-19 is fake. Everything is fake except for black on black crime. That is, in these people's mind, literally the only thing that actually exists is black on black crime. And critical race theory and black history are the biggest threats to American democracy. That is literally their brainchild. Shout out to the Manhattan Institute for coming up with such idiotic talking points. It's supposed to be a think tank, not an empty fish tank. You know what I'm saying?
speaking erratically. I didn't feel threatened at the time, but I did feel like he was, erratic. I feel grateful that he's not out there to attack or target anyone else. I'm still shocked. In New Mexico, we have actual access to our elected officials. And so I'm relieved to hear that people won't be targeted in this way by him any longer. When politicians,
Man, that was a deep breath, wasn't it? You hear that?
won't be targeted in this way by him any longer.
She got all the air, didn't she?
When politicians at our highest level of government continue to make threats and violence a regular part of public discourse, it has real impacts on our democracy and our real lives. Shots came through my home right where I had just hours before been playing with my granddaughter. Yeah, it's been painful to be a brand new grandma, and my daughter does such a great job bringing her over, and for the last month and a half hasn't because of this, right? Thank you. Too many of us experience this. We must change it.
She's clearly like reading a script or something, or I don't know if that's just a bad editing job or what. But yeah, it did sound like she came up for air. She probably had to come up for air after saying all that bullshit. She had to swim to the top of the steaming heap of crap that she was just talking and stick her head out for some air real quick, or at least poke her fingers up there so she can get some air and then come back down. You know what I'm saying? Janesta says that they're doing all this investigation only to sweep it up under the rug. Oh, absolutely. If you guys agree with Janesta, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. DeAndre said, damn, her airways sound clogged as hell. I bet she snore like a bear when she sleep. Bro, she probably got to sleep in the garage while everybody else sleep in the house. Because when she snores, it sounds like a damn tractor starting up. No one's getting any sleep. She wakes up the most rested in the house, though. She do one of them Mr. Fantastic stretches when she got up. Oh, my God. I feel like 15 years younger. Everybody else all cranky and upset, got to drink 10 and 15 Red Bulls just to stay awake during the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she sleeps in the garage on a moving truck flatbed. You know what I'm saying? But with lungs like that, though, you know what I'm saying? All you got to do is if your car stops, just wrap her mouth around the exhaust pipe and have her exhale a couple times, you know what I'm saying, into the engine, and it might actually get the car going. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says a California college professor expressed concerns that he may lose his job over false accusations that he engaged in racism and hate speech following comments he made against the school's quote-unquote radical racial equity initiatives during an October campus diversity committee meeting, Fox Digital News reported. So now what the left does is what the left will do, right? This is what the Democrats do. And make no mistake, the right, the conservatives, the white right, they troll right along with the left. They play back and forth. Imagine like you playing a sport and there's 3 teams playing against each other, but 2 teams are actually playing against you, but they're acting like they're against each other. So you got Hegelian dialectic, and then there's you, right? So the liberal policies make it so they be like, well, you know, what we'll do is we'll make this crazy ass policy, this admission policy, where in order to get into college, if you can only get in with priority if you're a felon and you failed 8 years of high school, then you can get into college ahead of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They do that on purpose and then turn around and say that we asked for that. And then white people, knowing that that's not true, they sit up there and play the game and act like literally they've heard every single black person saying, well, we want felons who failed 8 years of high school to be able to get admitted into college before white people and Asian people who score off the hook on the ACT and SATs. Nobody asked for that. Literally no one asked for that. But these are false initiatives that white people and Asian people come up with in order to continue to babble the same nonsense. Notice how you never have anybody advocating for that. Have you ever seen any people that advocate for black people, and I'm not talking about Democrats, I'm talking about actual grassroots advocates, say, well, you know what, one thing that we need to do is we need to find our failures and get them into college before other people who have good grades? Has anybody ever done that? That's why when you see idiots like Mark Dice, Rubin, the Rubin Report, Candace Owens, anytime you see any of these fake outraged conservatives or white people, they never have anybody that they're debating, because they come up with the most nonsensical left-wing talking points and then assign those to black people as if that's something that we've advocated for. And then they mix in a grain of what we actually ask for, like a hate crime bill and reparations, and say that it's all one thing. They'll sit there and say we're asking for reparations because we want felonies to get into college ahead of medical students, when literally no one in the history of human life has ever asked for that. And I mean, honestly, like, they need to be roasted off of the stage like the Sandman at the Apollo for that dumb shit. Because these are supposed to be the thought warriors. These are supposed to be the culture warriors. You're not a culture warrior. You're not a warrior at all. You're a cartoon in a bad episode of South Park. I mean, they literally they'll sit down and make up some type of Mr. Rogers Neighborhood story and then just do like Mark Dice. They'll sit there like they in handcuffs or somebody got a gun to their head and just recite it like if this message doesn't get out, it's the end of white America, when it's literally something that no one's even thought about. It's actually hilarious. And what's interesting is that YouTube, right? YouTube boosts these channels, white and Asian channels that are anti-black. They give them so much artificial push in the algorithm that it normalizes these thought processes of false narratives that these people come up with. And then that's how you will get these white people poking with you, talking about, well, you just want everything for free. While the white person who's saying you want everything for free literally has an entire bookshelf at home full of coupon clippings talking about you want everything for free. Like, what? Let's keep it a buck. Knowing you'll probably keep the damn buck because you're so damn cheap. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, according to tenured Bakersfield College history professor Matthew Garrett, the misconduct allegations against him were completely fabricated. Just like it was completely fabricated that the McMichaels killed Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, just completely fabricated. And I mean, it's definitely completely fabricated if we even mention racism. I mean, God, are you serious? No way, because that doesn't exist. Because all we have to do is just repeat that racism doesn't exist a million times. And then when you're the victim of a racist crime, well, it can't be racist because we've just repeated that it doesn't exist 1,000 times. Because literally every talking point that we come up with is not based in fact. It's based in how often we repeat something to make other people repeat it. You know what I mean? So now here it says Garrett explained that during a college diversity committee meeting in October, he and other faculty members of a free speech coalition, and free speech coalition means that my white ass should be able to say nigger coalition. That's literally what that translates to politically. Were targeted by left-leaning members, and what this means is black. This is code for black people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they'll have somebody with some pasted on tits and a wig, but what it actually means is black people who fabricated allegations against them for asking questions. And they get some clown like that lady who was arguing with that one dude in Congress. Shout out to Black Queen Genius. What up with it? Talking about it's violent to ask how a man can have a baby. It's not violent to ask how a man can have a baby. But what white people do is white people will find the most extreme, insane, nonsensical, anti-reality leftist and then attempt to just artificially manufacture that person as a representative for black people. You see them do it all the time. Well, this is what this person said. So, and then all they'll do is just keep saying, well, that's what they said. Okay. Anytime one white person says something racist, white people are extremely allergic to being grouped as racist. But those same very people who don't want to be grouped as racist literally want to assign whoever they want to as woke and leftist as it suits their narrative. And you see this happening literally all the time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody drops some radiation emoji for Black Queen Genius. She says she got to get back in the groove of BLR. Yeah, you got to catch up on some content. Run them watch hours up. Check out some older content. So now here it says, following the campus meeting, the administration sent a notice of unprofessional conduct to Garrett, accusing him of, quote unquote, causing real harm to students. And they now again, this is what I'm saying. What the left and the right are doing together are making it appear that racism is the common sense alternative. Asking questions about this didn't cause real harm. And nobody wanted anybody to ask any questions because nobody really cares about the diversity initiatives at these colleges. Really, for the most part, when it comes to these colleges, it's really white people and Asian people just complaining about nothing. Black women are going to college at a high rate, but most people, other than those three groups that I just mentioned, college is not something that is really talked about or advocated for. It's not a priority. Shout out to Tone. What up with it, bro? So now here it says one professor admitted that she did not want a diversity of opinion on the committee, Garrett claimed. She stated that another member alleged that free speech was a conservative ruse. And I mean, it is. Free speech is absolutely a conservative ruse. Did Kanye West have free speech? Did Kyrie Irving have free speech? Do conservative content creators have less than 1 million subscribers when it comes to boring, non-talented, inarticulate, and inaccurate social media content? Yes. There is no conservative suppression of free speech. If you have 1 million subscribers, your free speech isn't being suppressed. If you're somebody like Tariq Nasheed that has damn near 10,000 people in a live stream and damn near 100,000 views every time you post a video, but for some reason your YouTube channel stays at under 250,000 subscribers, your free speech is being suppressed. If you're somebody like Jason Black that has damn near 7,000 people every time they do a live stream and your subscriber count rarely goes up, your free speech is being suppressed. If you're Matt Walsh and your face looks like a woolly bear caterpillar and all you do is say nonsense and you have 2 million subscribers and you're not funny and monotone the entire video and have the corniest jokes that anybody's ever heard, you're not suppressed. You're not oppressed. You're not anything. Matt Walsh said that white women are trying to send white men back to the plantation. That absolutely made no sense. Unless the white women are staying in the ghettos and they want their and they want their husbands to go back to the plantations. But that's what your boy said. Makes no sense. Because they weren't on the plantations, except for in the capacity of where they both had it good, white men and white women. There was no plantation struggle for white women and white men, except for both of them to keep their hands off of black slaves and black children. That was the only struggle that they had. So I don't know why Matt Walsh would have said that. I don't know why he would have used that on the thumbnail. I don't know how that's based. You know what I'm saying? But only in the minds of people that don't have a mind, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, so the person doesn't believe conservatives should be able to speak. And if they do speak, they should be able to be disciplined, Garrett questioned. So again, this is that conservative victim mentality. Literally nobody said that. Now, these people at this meeting might have said that, but literally nobody cares what conservatives babble about. Conservatives think that it's free speech, that Dr. Dre requires them to abide by a copyright law. Yeah, we're gonna actually get into the Andrew Tate stuff in a second. Facebook user. I don't believe in prayer. I don't pray for anybody because I don't pray, but you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's some people in here who, if they're fans of Andrew Tate, I'm sure they wouldn't mind, but I don't know why anybody would be fans of a blackfishing weirdo. We're gonna talk about Andrew Tate. The blackfish Andrew Tate, because he's a blackfish. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that's another thing too. People got to watch that, man. All these people that sit around here talking about they mixed and say that they black and all this stuff. Andrew Tate's dad is the black guy from Tropic Thunder, in case you guys didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Google a picture of Andrew Tate's dad. It's the black guy. You know what I'm saying? From Tropic Thunder. Yeah, I agree, finance man. I disagree that he's black. Just like I disagree that Myron Gaines is black. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact from personal experience, you know what I'm saying, that he's not black. Just like how Tim Pool will sit around and say, well, I'm mixed. When most people say I'm mixed, you know what I'm saying, I'm biracial. In most cases, it's implied that they're talking about black and white. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know they're not black. Dude, listen. Myron Gaines talked about how his family, I forget if it was from Abu Dhabi or Dubai or somewhere or Saudi Arabia, but they moved to Sudan. And he's not a black person. He's not, if anything, he's like French Montana, like a North African Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? He's not a black person, what would be considered a black sub-Saharan person, or even biracial. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Tate's not biracial either. I've been around biracial people literally all my life. You know what I'm saying? You can look at an actual, now that the biracial wars are going on, and a lot of biracials are trying to not be identified as black people, and a lot of black people are kicking biracial people out of the barbecue, and all of this stuff going on. Go on TikTok and look at videos of biracial people, biracial men, biracial women. None of them look like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate looks like an earthworm. You know what I'm saying? No, black as in anybody that's identified as black. Like, he's not Nigerian. He's not biracial. He's not foundational Black American. He's a Caucasian man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He is a descendant of the Caucasus Mountains. He is not a descendant of the motherland or any other part of the planet. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and if you go look at a picture of his dad, that's why I keep saying in quotation marks, his dad, quote unquote, is the quote unquote black guy, quote unquote, from Tropic Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Go Google a picture of his dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We live on the table. He's 100% Mayo. He might not be Mayo. That part of the world, he might be Kibbe. You know what I'm saying? But what I can tell you is that he's not black. What I can tell you is that he's not Latino, mixed, or any. He's not black, and he's not a black derivative. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he doesn't come off as black at all. He doesn't even come. Man, I have friends that live in the UK, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I got Muslim friends that live in the UK too. In addition to my black friends, he doesn't even come off as Muslim. That is a European man. You know what I'm saying? He was exactly where he needed to be in Romania. You know what I mean? Black Queen Genius said, none of my biracial students identify as black. It's really quite sad, but it's their choice. It's probably because of their upbringing too. You know what I'm saying? It's probably because of their upbringing. Yeah, Latinos that come from. Do you know that the transatlantic slave trade deposited the most black people in the Caribbean and in South America? We don't even have the most black people from the transatlantic slave trade here in the United States and Canada. So most of the Latinos that you see, people like Fabulous, people like Noriega, like the rappers I'm talking about, they're black. And they can't identify with their black part. Facts, finance man, which is sad. They be on that me no black shit. They identify as biracial. We live on the table 7, or they try to identify as white until they have a world is correct moment, like Dante White did when he got killed by a woman that looked like his mom. And then his mom admitted on TV that she thought that her white woman tears would help Kim Potter get a higher sentence. And it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Dante Wright and Dante Wright's mom had a world is correct moment. Sadly, it ended in Dante Wright's life. No one should have to have that, but that's the world that we live in. And the world is correct. You know what I'm saying? So this professor he's just one of these people that's outraged and he wants to attach himself to a struggle. So he's going to say that he's white and outraged. We've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? Tucker Carlson laid the blueprint for it. So what we're going to do now is somehow this conversation of human trafficking, it's turned into a toxic masculinity conversation, apparently. I don't know. I'm not in anything together with Andrew Tate. I don't identify with Andrew Tate. I'm not a red pill. I'm not an incel. I'm not none of that shit. I don't identify anything with Andrew Tate at all, except for the dude is funny. I always said when I first was exposed to him that he reminded me of like a bad actor playing a villain, which turns out that's exactly what he was. You know what I'm saying? But apparently the news media says that Andrew Tate arrest shines a light on toxic masculinity. Now, Torian Rain just did a video about a female police officer that whooped her boyfriend's ass and got in trouble for domestic violence. Did you guys hear about that? That didn't shed any conversations on toxic femininity. You know what I'm saying? You know what else didn't shine a light on toxic masculinity? It didn't shine a light on toxic masculinity when that Marine assaulted that black female police officer or that black female security guard at that hotel and she beat his ass unconscious with the lamp. That didn't spark a conversation about toxic masculinity. But Andrew Tate who hasn't gone through trial yet is sparking a conversation about this so-called toxic masculinity. Let's hear what they got to say.
I believe that certain roles suit females and certain roles.
That's what they're saying is a black man. Name any other black man on the planet that looks like that. Name a biracial man that looks like that. Do Shamar Moore look like that? Do President Obama look like that? Do Kamala Harris look like that? Do Steph Curry look like that? Do Daddy Yankee look like that? Do Don Omar look like that? Do Fabulous look like that? Name me one black person that looks like this. What do TJ Holmes look like that? Maybe after he get done with Amy Roebuck, you know what I'm saying? And Amy Roebuck has her upper age baby. The baby might look like that, but even the baby will probably be blonde because, you know, sometimes I don't know how that be happening, but the blonde genes be coming through sometimes. But ain't nobody there. Show me some. Name me one black person or one mixed person that looks like that. Black Queen Genius says she know a black dude from New Orleans that look like that. Is he Creole? Is Vin Diesel even black? Has Vin Diesel ever come out and claimed that he's black? I don't know too much about Vin Diesel. Ghostwalker said it's a big L for anybody that stood behind him. I as well looked at dude sideways. Dude was way too strong. Dude was way too. He was just way too. He was really weird. Like I said, the first time I saw him was a video that Grind and Motivate did, and it was just a really odd video. Not Grind and Motivate's video, but the video that he reacted to. He was just very weird. A Black Queen Genius said he didn't claim it. He's Creole and didn't claim it. Okay. Finance Man says he talks too much. And we definitely going to get into that. We're definitely going to get into that. We're going to get into all of that.
Suit males.
He's one of the most controversial personalities online.
I have seen so many women fail to park and crash cars and do dumb. I do not want a female pilot flying me through a hurricane.
His anti-women diatribes often going viral.
I've seen enough female driving of all vehicles to know that is a bad idea.
And that's a fundamental tenet of the male supremacist doctrine, that women are...
What is the male supremacist doctrine? That's the doctrine that they didn't let black males read. What is the male supremacist doctrine? And notice how they don't have white men doing this news story. This is how people get wrapped up into stuff that doesn't involve them. This is the game that they play. I need to know what the male supremacist doctrine is. The only supremacist doctrine is white supremacy, and white supremacy is created and run by and operated by and controlled by white men. So that's the only male supremacist doctrine that there is, and that's a white supremacist doctrine because white women, white children, white LGBTQ, and other groups of people, except for foundational Black Americans, benefit from that. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. His voice is definitely a giveaway. Super facts. He looked like one of the extra characters on NBA 2K.
a second class to men.
Former kickboxer and Big Brother contestant Andrew Tate, infamous for being the self-proclaimed king of toxic masculinity.
If you were to use the sort of language that Andrew Tate uses about women in the workplace, or if on television, or anywhere else in society, you'd be sacked from your employer.
Multi-millionaire and
Tate's core message centers around the belief
that's not true. What this guy just said is not true.
Anywhere else in society, you'd be sacked from your employer.
Dana White slapped the dog shit out of his wife on video. It was seen, and he still has a job. And also, society's not criticizing him. Society is giving him a pass. And those of us who are criticizing him, the same group of people is coming out and saying that we're woke and we're trying to cancel a good white man. Now that's the male supremacist doctrine. This Andrew Tate conversation, Andrew Tate is he's just another guy. When we're talking about this male supremacist doctrine, We need to talk about white males like Dana White and Ari Emanuel. But instead of having that conversation there, we're going to talk, we're going to put it onto a cartoon character like Andrew Tate. Nah, Dana White don't own the company. He's the CEO of it. He's an employee. Ari Emanuel owns the company. The UFC is under a company called Endeavor that's owned by Ari Emanuel. Dana White is the CEO. So Dana White needs to be asked to step down. Also, smacking your wife in public, as well as his wife smacking him, is a crime. Both of them, his wife and him, they should have a trial date. But literally, it's swept under the rug, and we're not going to talk about it anymore because we're just not going to talk about it. But we're all in it together as men. Remember, Andrew Tate found out the hard way that the world is correct, just like Kanye West. Kanye West sat up there and said that straight white males are the most prosecuted, and then he got de-billionaired. Andrew Tate said that white males are the most prosecuted, and Andrew Tate is now sitting in a Romanian jail, and he's not even on camera committing domestic violence. We actually have proof of Dana White and his wife committing domestic violence against each other, and there's not even any police charges. These are irrefutable facts. You know what I'm saying?
Multimillionaire and
Tate's
all-around
core
nice.
message centers around the belief that masculinity is in
And
the
Chad
crosshairs.
Wheeler too. Facts,
And he's
Harry.
defending it. His target audience, young men.
What is it about Andrew Tate that seems to have captivated a full generation of the most impressionable, right?
I think, he's presenting himself as this sort of maverick, this anti.
I'm going to tell you the thing that makes people like Andrew Tate, the thing that makes people like all of these guys are a generation of increasingly weak men that don't have any self-esteem, that aren't used to hard work and persevering through difficult times. Men that don't know how to stand on anything. You should never have to have a masculinity coach. Masculinity is supposed to be something natural. It's not something you learn to be a good man, right? But you can be a masculine bad man as well. Masculinity is something that comes natural with being a man. Just like testosterone is something natural that comes with being a man. Masculinity is the trait of being a male. Nowadays, a lot of people don't have any guidance, and a lot of people are looking too much to social media as their actual reality. So they're lost. And when weak people find somebody that they can look up to, it motivates them. They look at that person like a demigod. That's how you come up with Andrew Tate. They can arrest Andrew Tate. There's another Andrew Tate ready to come off of the assembly line. They can arrest that guy. There's another one ready to come off the assembly line. Andrew Tate is always going to exist in a world where men are increasingly weak. In a world where testosterone is increasingly decreasing. Facts. You understand me? You understand me? In my opinion, your father should have been your first and only masculinity coach. Super facts. Or a male influence in your life. Super facts. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. How many men nowadays have a masculinity coach? How many men nowadays have been coached masculinity by their father or by an important male in their lives? Because everybody doesn't grow up with a father. Everybody's family dynamics are different. And some of the most masculine men, some of them don't grow up in two-parent households. But what masculine men will tell you is that it's a trait that they learned, how to be an actual man, how to be a good masculine man. As long as there's a demand, There's always willing to be somebody that'll supply. You're not looking at anything when it comes to Andrew Tate other than human behavior. And human behavior, as it applies to supply and demand, is called economics. It's very simple. Some of the highest viewed content is stuff like how to get a girl. Are you serious? What do you mean, how do you get a girl? You just get a girl. These are things that weren't questions when we were young. Dating coaches. Are you serious? Put me in the game, coach. You serious? Next thing you know, they're gonna have coaches showing you how to satisfy your girlfriend. Let me sample your girl real quick. Here, hold the camera and record us. I'm gonna bang your girlfriend and show you how to get her off properly. That's what's gonna come next. The next step is gonna be the cuckold coaching. Man, I got this girl. She's great. I just don't think that I satisfy her the right way. Oh, well, for $19.99, you know what I'm saying, in 5 sessions with me and your girl, I'll show you how to get her off in no time. Seriously? That will be the next step. That's where this is going. And guys will actually believe it. Oh, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Show me how to long stroke her so I can have her screaming like those pornos that I watched the entire time because I could never get a girl. And now that I finally have one, I don't know what to do because I don't know how to do anything. That's coming. That's the next logical progressive step.
Hero, which is very appealing. He's showing them a way to sort of regain power and control, and it's predominantly over women.
Guys, get back, ladies.
Tate's ideology, which is popular in some circles of adolescent boys and grown men, often dehumanizes women.
A violent misogynist who justifies rape, who justifies grabbing a woman by the neck.
There's no justification for that kind of stuff ever. There is never, ever a justification for violating a woman sexually. Ever. There's no justification for that. That is not excusable behavior in any circumstance ever. Now, as far as self-defense goes, somebody hit you, hit them back. Oh, well, wait a minute. You criticize Dana White all the time. Yep, I sure do. Because Dana White is the one who got off on punishing so many people for domestic violence because he's the one that said that it's no excuse to hit a woman. I said there's never an excuse to sexually violate a woman. If a woman hits you, the way I look at it is if anybody hits you, that person's opened up a Pandora's box. So whatever happens, just happens. They opened up that Pandora's box by violating you, by assaulting you. Those were Dana White's standards, and he couldn't even live by his own standards. You know what I'm saying?
Punching her, threatening her with a machete in his videos is given such prominence.
He recently mocked climate activist Greta Thunberg on Twitter, tweeting, "I have 33 cars."
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre showing the love. He trying to make sure that me and TD got that soundboard. You understand me? TD, you still in here? You see DeAndre trying to make sure we got that soundboard. DeAndre said, I got to put something on this stream. Rob, you cooking, and it's been funny as hell, too. Now you see why TD be telling y'all, I be having to make sure that y'all know, like, okay, like right now at this particular point, I'm not trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying?
Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and the respective enormous emissions. Her reply, telling him to email her at an address ending in @getalife.com.
The way he tried to troll.
No, that's not what she said. And they actually covered for what she said. Didn't she say get a life at smalldickenergy.com or something like that? Greta Thunberg is a disgusting little person that has no business talking the way that she's talking either. TD did some. Hey, yo, DeAndre, you see this? TD, where the donations, TD? Where the donations, bruh? Where the soundboard, bruh? TD said he blew the soundboard money on a gold chain yesterday. You understand me? Well, he gonna have a nice shiny chain that's gonna mess up the camera focus. but we ain't gonna have no soundboard. So keep them super chats coming, DeAndre. You feel me? You understand me? Keep cash app me. Wait till that bot put in my cash app. Keep cash apping and super chatting. You understand me?
Greta Thunberg to get her to engage with him. Now, in reality, her slap back at Andrew Tate just drew more attention to Tate.
Family, the money gone. We ain't got no soundboard. Use your common sense. She's 20. I heard she was younger than 20. How old is Greta Thunberg? Somebody told me she was like 16. I think it was TD that told me she was 16.
Hours later, Tate and his brother Tristan, along with 2 others, were arrested at their villa in Bucharest, the capital of Romania.
Listen, family, where Jada Informant at? Jada Informant got to put something on the table now. Donations, gifts. Come on, family. Janesta donated. DeAndre donated. Where the money at, family? You understand me? We gotta get this soundboard, family. But TD gambled all the money away.
Accused of human trafficking, rape, and being part of an organized criminal group. According to Romanian prosecutors, the Tate brothers and 2 Romanian citizens lured women to the country, then committed acts of physical violence.
Okay,
and
she's 20. So she's 20. Okay, I didn't know she was. She don't really look 20. But still, though, look at what she did, though. Right? This is what I'm saying, though. Why is it okay for women to body shame? Her response to Andrew Tate talking about his cars and the emission was to attempt to emasculate him by talking about his dick size. Now, why is it okay for women to do that? And it's, yeah, high five, girl. You really showed him. No toxic femininity. No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Women can talk about you skinny. You ain't got no muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the famous viral comedy clip, if your dick is a certain size, you can only talk to me like this in this tone of voice. But if you be like, bitch, you fat as hell. Your fat ass couldn't even fit a parachute from Lane Bryant, and your big ass got to walk through double doors sideways. Now, if I said some shit like that to somebody, that's misogynistic, and I'm vile, and I'm the worst person on the planet. Why is that? I was just kidding, Jay, but shit, thanks for the super chat. Everybody, make sure y'all show some love to Jay. Drop some radiation emoji for Jay. Jay trying to make sure we got that soundboard, too. She is short 20. I mean, damn. Yeah, I agree. And I don't think she should be talking. And I don't think that the world should be applauding her. Like, literally, the world is like, yeah, you told him because you said that he had a small dick. Like, really? He didn't mention anything about her body or appearance or anything. And women get that pass all the time. It's immediately, you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you've never seen my dick, your dick is little. You know what I'm saying? And it's applauded. It's applauded by society. Yeah, you really showed him. Yeah. But if I'm on a cruise ship with you and you big as all hell, and I'm like, what the hell your fat ass need a life raft for? You can float in the water on your own. I need one. I'm a misogynist. As far as I'm concerned, when women talk that shit like Greta was talking, that's misandry. But misandry is not a crime. Misandry is applauded. Misandry is female heroics. Right. Women usually will attack your penis because of it, or accuse you of being gay. But if you attack a woman and say that I could drive an L train from New York to Chicago through you sideways because you've been through so many guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's me being a misogynist. There's something, I'm being vile. There's something wrong with me. I shouldn't have said that. Oh my God. You just destroyed all women saying such a horrible thing. I don't understand the double standard. You can sit there and say that somebody's private parts are so small, XYZ, but I could sit there and say that I could put a bus through you sideways because you've been with so many people. There's something wrong with me. I have the problem. As far as I'm concerned, shouldn't nobody talk like that to each other? There's a level of respect that men and women should have for each other, and it shouldn't even never come to that. Now, a woman can talk all big and bad, this, that, and the other. But you know what I'm saying? If you be like, yo, that dude that you was with last night after your boyfriend went home from work, that's my homeboy, and he sent me a picture of what you was doing with him. You want me to send that to your boyfriend? Now all of a sudden you're not empowering women. Women are above having a world is correct moment, it seems like, in today's society. They're never supposed to understand at any point that the world is correct. Only everybody else is. Even the fact that women contribute to their own replacement by supporting LGBTQ and trans movements. Ketanji Brown Jackson supporting her own replacement. Make it make sense. That's misogyny, though. Welcome to misogyny.
And so coercion against them and force them to perform pornography. Tate appeared in a Romanian court today, his attorney rejecting all charges, saying there was not a single piece of evidence, apart from the victim's statement, regarding the rape charges, and no evidence regarding human trafficking and organized crime.
Now, here's the thing that's crazy, right? Most of the evidence that they get, as we'll see later on in the stream, most of the evidence that they have is evidence that they actually got from things that Andrew Tate himself said. He said all of this stuff. This dude is the king self-snitch. And people don't want to hold him accountable for that. They're like, dude, he didn't do anything wrong ever. Okay, well, even if he didn't do anything wrong ever, the things that he said literally have put him in a compromising position. And guess what? He said those things. And I agree, finance man, it is. It's always going to be double standards unless something changes. And we have to make that change. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed the like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys have not shared the video out, please make sure you guys take a moment and share the video out to your other social media.
The judge ruled Tate must remain in custody.
The Romanian police now say he may be guilty of sex trafficking and rape. Now, that will come as no surprise to those people who've seen him talk about women in a way that says that their bodies are owned by men.
Now, just because he said some vile things, it still has to be substantiated in court. You can't just sit there and say, well, because you said this, right? But what I find fascinating is it's almost like what they're doing is they're moving toward something similar to the RICO Act and using the rap lyrics against Gunna in them. They're using social media lyrics, social media posts and different things like that against Andrew Tate. It's really interesting to watch all this unfold. You know what I'm saying?
And that they are fundamentally there to be subjugated by men.
Andrew Tate, now 36 years old, began his rise to fame as a kickboxer, winning multiple titles. In 2016, Tate was cast on the British version of Big Brother, but was kicked off the show after only 5 days. According to a report from Vice, Big Brother's producers removed Tate from the show once they learned he was under investigation for rape. Tate.
Did you guys know that? How many of you guys knew that? If you guys heard that before, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't know that, give me a thumbs down.
Was never charged. After Big Brother, Tate started to build his online empire and a webcam business where he paid women to perform on camera. Tate claimed the business once earned $600,000 a month.
Success is actually nothing to do with being good at your job.
Tate also offers online classes, one's called Hustler.
Success is learned. You understand me? Did you guys know that success is learned? If y'all knew that success is learned with a T at the end of it, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't know that success is learned, give me a thumbs down. Success is learned. You understand me?
University for marketing, e-commerce, and crypto investing.
BMW. I didn't even consider that a car. BMW. That's not a luxury car. That's basic. I wouldn't be on this website.
The courses offer skills to get rich for $50 a month. Tate, showing off his flashy collection of supercars, helps paint the picture of the success he's trying to sell.
Hey, is DeAndre, you still in here? These cars, this black one right here, this is what TD spent the money on. This is what TD spent the super chats on.
But his rhetoric and lifestyle becoming so inflammatory, he was banned from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. However, he's still active on Twitter, where he has over 4.4 million followers.
I've known him since 15, 16 years now.
He's got 4.4 million followers, but his free speech is suppressed. That's crazy. We Live on the Table said, what a beauty, talking about this dude's face. I actually kind of thought to myself, damn, that's an ugly ass motherfucker when he first came on the screen. But to each his own, you know what I'm saying?
Still, Andrew Tate has his defenders and fans. Tam Khan is a former professional MMA fighter. He's called Tate a friend for over 15 years.
How did you first actually meet Andrew?
We actually...
Oh, you meant the car. Okay, my bad.
When I was professional, he was a professional fighter. And Andrew was a young kid, 17, 18 years old, very tough, talented kid, quiet, he'd perform, and we'd always use him for our shows because he was reliable.
I was like, damn, man, look. Man, it looked like somebody just took a sledgehammer right to his face right before they put the camera on him for the interview. That's crazy.
He'd perform, and we'd always use him for our shows because he was reliable.
Tate has visited Khan at his high-end gym in Dubai. His appearance always makes waves with young men who line up for selfies.
What do the young people and the athletes that go to your gym, what do they make of Tate?
I've had, you name it, Khabib, John Cena, Jean-Claude Van Damme. When Andrew Tate came, we had to get security to get him out of the premises. He shut down malls here. Like, I like to speak to the young kids. They say, because he tells us to be a better person. He speaks for us. In a generation where we're ignored, he's out there for us.
Who's ignoring these people? I need help with this. Somebody help me out. All these young men, right? They keep saying that they're ignored. The only people that are ignoring them is their own families. They don't have when these young men are saying that they're ignored, what that actually means is that they don't have a masculine example in their life. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're ignored. That might mean you come from a bad family structure. That might mean that you're in an environment where you're not getting good guidance, but you're not ignored. This is privilege. This is a bunch of spoiled, soft-ass brats. This is the very group of people, the very group of men, the very group of kids who come from the men who literally tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, but you feel ignored. I don't feel any sympathy for this young generation here. Get it together. Stop being an embarrassment to males. The world is changing. You know what I'm saying? Adapt to the changes or find yourself in the position that you're in. If societies, it seems like men are losing ground to women. Well, I mean, if men like the position that they're supposed to be in, you better figure it out. It's your responsibility to figure it out. If you're losing the game, it's not the other team's responsibility to help you win. It's your responsibility to narrow the scoring gap and then surpass the scoring gap and win the game. Sympathy's not going to do that for you. These men right here that flock to these male coaches are having their world is correct moment.
Talks about being successful, how if you fail in school, you've also still got a chance. And these are like 8 years old, 9 years old, 12
Bro,
years
I
old,
agree.
14
I
years
agree
old.
110%. I agree, finance man. This is a man. This is a nuclear grift. Anybody that's been a long time subscriber of my channel before, like I even had anybody watch any of my videos, and it'd be like 1 or 2 people in here. I've been saying people need to pay attention to this stuff. I've been saying that.
Kids.
Khan says he disagrees with how Tate portrays women, but argues it's just a way to build an audience and an empire.
Do you have any concern that the wrong message, the wrong information is actually getting through to these young kids?
I don't agree with a lot of it, to be honest. I mean, I'm a father of 2 daughters, and if I believed he was of a misogynist or very anti-woman, I wouldn't even be around him, because I want my girls to be strong individuals. I want them to be the next Kamala Harris or Serena Williams.
One thing Khan does agree with Tate on, their idea that masculinity is in the crosshairs.
We came so far in society through.
Now let's talk about that, right? Why is masculinity, quote unquote, in the crosshairs, and is masculinity really in the crosshairs? If you ask me, black masculinity is under attack always by a lot of different societal forces, including within black society. But when it comes to other groups of men, there's no forces attacking their masculinity other than the demises that they created for themselves. So I really don't have any sympathy or a common fight or goal in what they got going on. Other groups of people have enjoyed so much privilege as a result of building empires off of anti-black racism. What you're dealing with now is a bunch of soft people because you've had it so easy for so long. I don't care. I care about actual attacks on masculinity where people had to march with Dr. Martin Luther King, something else that they didn't talk about on Martin Luther King's Day with "I am a man" signs on their necks, because our masculinity was actually attacked. Show me a time in history where a white man or an Asian man was walking around somewhere with a "I am a man" shirt on or a picket sign. Show me where any of these people's ancestors were actually chopping their genitals off, actually attacking our masculinity. I don't have any sympathy for this plight right here. This plight is a plight that these people caused on their own, and they're having their world is correct moment. And now they'll pay a lot of money for somebody to make them feel good. Shout out to Tia. What up with it, Tia? They are teaching people in school that gender is a social construct. I don't feel bad for people being taught misinformation. Figure out the right information on your own. For a long time, the race hustlers, aka white people, tried to say that race is a social construct. Now they're going around saying that gender is a social construct. Soon life will be a social construct. The card house only lasts for so long. The facade can only stay up for so long. I don't feel these people have written their own checks. These people have created their own fate. They've sealed their own destiny. And their destiny is different than ours. Which is one of the reasons why you see people like Andrew Tate and all of these people attempting to gain a mass diverse audience to try to dilute the focus of where the focus of fault should actually be. Facts, DeAndre. I've been saying this stuff. That black men have been having to fight for masculinity. This is some made up shit. I just need to be seen shit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I feel ignored. Well, I don't know why you feel ignored. Look at Dana White. Societal privilege allows Dana White to slap his wife and allows his wife to slap him with no consequence. Societal reality puts Andrew Tate in jail for words. That's the reality. That's the reality that red pill Andrew Tate, who supposedly done escaped the matrix, can't seem to see the zeros and ones and decode that part. And it don't matter if he can decode it or not. Right now, he's rotting away somewhere eating food that's putting him in the infirmary, having a stomach ache. And when he listens to his stomach growl, is saying the world is correct. Tate.
Masculinity, through men going to armies, through men defending countries, through men being the protector, the woman being the university for the household, raising the kids, and the man going out to work, striving all day. Have your opinions, but let's not delete masculinity. Let's not delete the alpha male. Let's not delete guys who died for us.
What is the effect of his...
What we have now, we don't even have alpha males and beta males. If you guys agree that we don't have alpha males and beta males, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree and you feel that we do have alpha males and beta males, give me a thumbs down. An alpha male, in most cases, is not going to go around and tell you that they're an alpha male. You know when an alpha male is around. That doesn't even have to be said. You automatically know who's running the room. You know what I'm saying? These people nowadays are pseudo alpha males. They're people that have learned to play a role. And that role are the projected traits of alpha men. But in most cases, these guys are not actually alpha men. There's a difference between being aggressive and being an alpha. Don't it? Yo, he looked like Jigsaw from The Punisher. You remember Jigsaw on The Punisher? He looked just like Jigsaw. Yeah, they did. They took all his cars as collateral. They sure did. We live on the table. Just Jay the Informant said an alpha male. An alpha male looks like Jesse Lee. I knew it. Look, I didn't even get a chance to say it. I didn't even get a chance to say it. I knew We Live on the Table was about to say JLP as an alpha male. He typing right now to say he based too. I can't even keep up. I knew We Live on the Table was about to say Jesse Lee Peterson, an alpha male. He typing right now to say that he based. Oh man.
Of his rhetoric.
It's putting gender equality and progression back years. In the worst case scenario is that this is breeding ground for future abusers, because that is just normalized with these attitudes and behaviors.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Hi, everyone.
Let me ask you guys a question. Who runs the world today? Would you guys say men have positions of power today? Do men maintain most of the positions of power? Let's just for devil's advocate's sake, for thought exercise sake, let's just ask the question. We're going to do the whole we're all in it together as men thing for a brief second, just to see. Of the positions of power in the world, do men make most of the decisions? Black Queen Genius says yes. We Live on the Table says yes. Mimi McCoy says yes. So if men are making most of the decisions, why are men so fearful that they're losing ground to women? If men are making most of the decisions and hold most of the power, why are they feeling ignored? Shout out to my man Keep It 100. What up with it, bro? Yo, if you guys ain't subscribed to my man Keep It 100's channel, man, make sure you guys take a moment and subscribe to his channel. That's my dude right there, and he be dropping some dope content. The men who are in charge now are not providing enablement or empowerment for other men to be passed down or be cultivated into those positions of power. A lot of the men who are in power now are greedy and want to get as much money as they can. So they fund things like LGBTQ. They fund things like feminism. And what you can see is a corporate and financial infrastructure that's routing money to certain people and shifting the appearance of the world to where the appearance is that it's giving women more power. We have two different sets of problems. The problems that we face are not the same as what Andrew Tate got going on. We got actual issues. Now, this is some shit that The Rising said. Let's check out what The Rising said.
Personality Andrew Tate reportedly texted his rape accuser, quote, "I love raping you," and described strangling her on an audio recording shared with the UK police. The police told...
So now, here go the thing, right? What else was on those text messages? Because sometimes people be talking kinky and sadomasochistic, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people talk like this amongst each other. Me and my girlfriend be going ham on the text messages, right? If somebody intercepted my phone, they'd be like, man, it'd be going down. Okay, I need to know the full context. This lady on the news sitting up here like ain't nobody ever talked dirty to her before, and she didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Now we're into this. Like, we need to know the context here. Was this woman threatened, or was this a consensual, just a kinky conversation between them two? The news media is not putting out every single thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I'm not sitting up here saying that Andrew Tate is completely innocent, because a lot of the stuff that he said in other chats and different things like that is part of the reason why the judge is not granting him bail. But at the same time, these are the things that can happen. So pay very close attention to this stuff right here, dudes. If you have a woman and she's a freak and y'all talk freaky to each other, you might want to censor what you say. Because like they say on TV, anything you say or do can be used against you in a court of law. DeAndre said, Rob, let us find out you be swinging from the chandelier. All I'm about to say is I'm a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Keep It 100 says, women be having these sorts of fantasies nobody ever wants to address. Bro, there's whole genres of femdom and, you know what I'm saying, like foot fetish and, you know what I'm saying, freaks and mastery and whips and chains, and women be demanding that. You know what I'm saying? They be wanting to dress up like Catwoman and put a mask on a dude like Marcellus on what's the name of that movie? Damn, what's the name of that shit? What's the name of that movie with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta? Damn, why the hell can't I think of it? Quentin Tarantino made it. It's right on the tip of my tongue, too. See, that's some freak shit. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, you was talking shit. Like, seriously? You know what I'm saying? You can't even say shit like the cat got my tongue. Who's cat? You know what I'm saying? Like, now you cheating. Like, seriously?
Told her there was an ounce of doubt that prevented them from prosecuting him.
Y'all.
Tate was detained by Romanian police in December, and a court in Romania's capital, Bucharest, has upheld his 30-day arrest on charges of organized crime, human trafficking, and rape. That's according to AP News.
We're going to play one of the...
So now here's my question, right? Where is there any woman who has come out and said that Andrew Tate raped her? Is there any material witness that has come out and said that? Does anybody know? I don't think any woman has come forward and said, I'm filing charges against Andrew Tate for rape. Has that happened yet involving this case? Do you guys know? I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. We got some more stuff to look at, so you know what I'm saying? We might actually come across it, but
voice notes he sent the woman regarding his assault on her. Warning, this is a little graphic, so don't listen to this if you don't feel like doing that.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet.
This is what conservative commentator Candace Owens had to say about Tate.
So now, again, pay very close attention to how the United States government will politicize anything. The Andrew Tate fiasco has been politicized. Candace Owens jumped on this content because she didn't have his dick to jump on. You know what I'm saying?
I do not believe that Andrew Tate is a rapist. I don't. I think that is what people like to accuse men of when they're trying to take them down.
And she does. Now, to be fair, she goes on.
Now, I actually agree with what she said, though, because we've seen that happen. Would you agree? We've seen that happen. We've seen that happen with Bill Cosby. I mean, we've seen that around the board. We Live on a Table 7 said Candace is based. She like your type. We Live on a 7. You got a chance. You know what I'm saying? You need to go holler at that. Get her to leave us the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? She's always talking shit. Keep her occupied so she stopped talking shit about reparations, so I ain't got to keep making videos roasting her stupid ass.
It's a longer clip, and I watched the rest of it, and I didn't completely disagree with what she was saying. She said that she doesn't approve of what is going on there, his little harem he has. But everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and we have to kind of wait and see for what exactly this kind of situation is. And I have urged a little bit of caution here, because I think Andrew Tate is a very gross individual. I think the effort to make him a kind of a hero or a figure for young men to look up.
I think Andrew Tate is grossly exaggerated. And that's exactly what I said when I first came in contact with him. He reminds me of a cartoonish supervillain. Now, is any of the criminal allegations accurate against him? What I think is going to happen, this is my guess. I think that they'll probably substantiate some of the financial allegations against him. And I think that they'll substantiate the financial allegations through some cryptocurrency taxation loopholes. The sexual allegations, I don't think any of those are going to stick, because I don't think that anybody has come out. I think that they're using the sexual stuff in the text messages in order to create a narrative for the public to follow. The only problem is that Andrew Tate leaned into that crazy ass shit that he was saying all the time. Yeah, I agree. Keep it 100. He's trolling to a degree. He's creating a character. It goes with, it's the cigar, the looks, the cars. He's creating a character. He's trying to create that character of a bad guy. I mean, it's clearly a manufactured character of a bad guy, and it's funny to me, like it's laughable because it's so damn phony. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he's doing. But the things that he said and the direction that they're going and how they're trying to spin this is where it gets dangerous. When it comes to all of this other stuff, I got to see more. I want to see if some women come forward. I don't know if any have yet. Do you guys, does anybody in the comment section know if any women have come forward yet? Any names? Because all they have is consensual text messages of conversations between him and other people as far as the sex stuff. So like, say for instance, like you and your wife have a fetish, right? Like say y'all do some weird shit, like your wife likes doing some weird shit to you. She really gets off on doing it. And you know what I'm saying? Like you let her do it. And say for instance, you got some weird fetish shit and your wife be taking care of you. Somebody got hold of those messages and they just post those messages all over the place and just repeat, you're a degenerate, you're a degenerate, you're a degenerate. Well, you have a fetish that most people don't really do. You do that in the privacy with you and your girlfriend. So the understanding is that that's just between you two. But now that your business has been put out in the street and most people like, damn, oh, motherfucker, you like doing that? God damn, I'm looking at you funny now. Now what we're doing is we're creating a perception. We're manufacturing an opinion. You see what I'm saying? This is the Hill, Tia. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the Vice piece for sure. And I don't know if you guys are subscribed to my man Grind and Motivate, but Grind and Motivate did a reaction to the Vice piece as well.
Was very bad. I think he's a con artist. Like I'm saying bad things about him. It is true, however, at least in the U.S., that there has been an effort on the part of law enforcement to use sex trafficking as this like catch-all term. Craigslist was shut down over that accusation. There's a lot of like online policing of bad behavior that is not like literally people being kidnapped. Frankly, I mean, as a libertarian, I support this. Maybe you have a different view or other people have different views. Consensual prostitution, which I think is not a good thing, but I don't think should be criminalized, being portrayed by law enforcement actually as sex trafficking, and usually involves, in the U.S. context, arresting like a lot of like vulnerable young women rather than like the people who, if you're going to argue someone mistreated.
Okay, so now here's my question also, right? If there was sex trafficking going on, Has there been any reports of like women being found imprisoned and being released like into custody? Like they had a bunch of women hiding, like hidden and imprisoned in his home or anything? Has any of that happened? Keep It 100 says the current definition of trafficking is ridiculous. Well, you know they change them definitions every time they need to change a definition. You remember when Amy Coney Barrett was running for or when she was being sworn in and she was going through her Senate hearing for Supreme Court justice, and they kept changing the definition of gender preference. Do you guys remember that? If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember, give me a thumbs down. I know, Ghost Walker, this is crazy.
Treated someone in this circumstance is not helpful to victims at all. Now, I don't know that that's going on here at all.
Okay, so Carlton says, as of right now, currently, there's no evidence to substantiate the quote-unquote sex trafficking claims. All we have are questionable texts with no evidence that those texts were not consensual. Because, again, we're not going to sit up here and act like adults don't talk dirty to each other. I talk dirty to my girlfriend all the time. Hopefully, she likes it. I think she does. She haven't smacked me yet. You know what I'm saying? If somebody got hold of my text messages, they'd say, you're sick. I'd say, I'm a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? You must not know your zodiac. Why you judging somebody? You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you think. I like what I like. Get over it.
I just know that has been the case in the U.S. context. Obviously, what he's describing on that call sounds like sexual assault.
It's definite. I mean, as long as he's speaking literally.
Now, here's the thing, right? It sounds aggressive. We can't say that it sounds like sexual assault until we hear the other part of the conversation. Like, what is the woman saying back to him? Shout out to Abby. What up with it? Abby said, you beige. Stop lying about that Scorpio stuff. I'm beige and a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I got going for me is that I'm a Scorpio. You know, light-skinned dudes went out of style a long time ago. That's why I always only had the audio visualizer on. I only show the camera when I'm on with TD because he make me show the camera. You know what I'm saying? He not gonna run me any donations if I don't put my camera on. But when I be just having the visualizer, I sound dark skinned, so that's why I don't. I sound like I'm dark skinned, so that's why I don't show that shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep a motherfucker thinking I'm dark skinned. You know what I'm saying?
And not rhetorically, it's definitionally rape. Like he's saying,
shout out to G Mars.
What you didn't want me to have sex
it could be a safe
the
word
more
scenario
that it could
that.
be. But here's the problem with could be's, would be's, and should be's.
Okay.
The reason it is very reasonable to say that there have been some overreaches in the realm of Me Too, and that it is silly to presumptively believe women, understanding that the reason that the believe women, hashtag originated because women were categorically never believed. I think it probably makes sense to sit in a space of let's create an environment for law enforcement to do what they need to do to get to the bottom of truth without jumping to conclusions. I think that's perfectly reasonable. That's not what Candace Owens said. What Candace Owens said is, I don't think Andrew Tate is a rapist. Mm-hmm. I don't think Andrew Tate is a rapist.
So what happened to you're innocent until proven guilty? So if Candace Owens, based on her assessment of what she's seen, if she doesn't, so like what we're supposed to just automatically think that he is one? What happened to the evidence-based approach? As you guys can see, as I'm going through these videos, I always ask all the questions because I want to see the evidence. I want to have as much information as I can before I make an assumption. The only assumption that I've made about Andrew Tate is that he self-snitched about certain things and that he's an idiot. But now, as far as saying that he's guilty of a crime without any evidence, you're taking things down a dangerous path, and nobody deserves that. You know what I'm saying? He put himself in the situation, if you ask me. But the crimes that they're accusing him of, is there evidence that he did it? This woman here on The Rising is sitting there criticizing Candace Owens because Candace Owens said that she doesn't think that he raped somebody. You're innocent until proven guilty. So until he's proven that he did rape somebody, I don't see what the problem is with what Candace Owens said. But again, what you're watching is you're watching the media manufacture how it wants you to think. You should be able to come to all these conclusions on your own, like how we're doing, critically thinking, looking at these videos. You know what I'm saying? Reviewing, doing reactions, comparing information. Just because I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, I don't feel that if that man did not do anything wrong, he shouldn't go to jail. If he did do something wrong, throw the book at his ass. What they're trying to do is the media is doing a court of public appeals, and the media is creating a narrative to make the public throw the book at him. And that's what you see happen a lot of times. But again, Andrew Tate didn't help that situation because of all of the reckless shit that he said all over the damn place. You know what I'm saying?
This is an affirmative claim that Andrew Tate is not a rapist. Not, we don't know yet. Let's not jump to conclusions. These claims have been weaponized in the past. Let's reserve space for whatever the criminal justice system decides. And so she's really going out on a limb there and saying that she claims on the basis of some evidence or no evidence or just vibes and feelings that Andrew Tate is not a rapist. And I hope that, that doesn't age as poorly as it seems as it might.
There's also there is a huge difference between being accused of sexual misconduct or sexual assault and sex trafficking. Like how with the people there lured under false pretenses, were they held against their will? All those things are going to factor into
real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't shared the video out, please make sure you guys share the video out. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice.
It seems likely to me that Romanian authorities can find some charge to stick him with, whether that will be, what's described as people chained to radiators or something. I don't know.
None of us know.
Right, none of us know.
But choices are being made about who to presumptively believe. And again,
everybody should be presumptively.
I think it's deeply hypocritical to say you shouldn't jump to conclusions and believe the woman, while at the same time you're going to jump to conclusions and believe Andrew Tate.
Yeah, so the part of that we played, I don't agree with. But it is, the right even accuses everyone of sex trafficking. The whole
they most certainly do.
Well, and right, so does everybody. So it's not wrong to say that is an accusation that gets thrown around to discredit people, and it wildly disproportionate to anything going on.
Yeah, I would simply not weigh in. I think it is.
Do you guys remember when T.I. and Tiny had the sex trafficking allegations? Do you guys remember that? If you guys remember that, or it was some kind of weird shit they had going on. If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember that, give me a thumbs down.
It's not difficult for me sitting here as an independent observer who has no special knowledge of what's gone on in that case to simply say, we'll see what the police decide. We'll see what the investigation figures out. What I'm hearing on that tape is disturbing. And what we all know from his public statements in the past about hitting women and his website where is
there any evidence that he committed those acts? That's the only question that matters. And like I said, if you ask me, he got himself into a whole bunch of trouble for this media dragging with all of the stupid, reckless shit that he said and just the way that he carries himself. But if you ask me, I think that the only evidence that's going to be found of anything, if any is found at all, is of the financial crimes.
He describes how he coerces women into these kinds of relationships that, again, people in the know describe as sex trafficking, exploitative type relationships, is evidence that I wouldn't want to be leveraged against me. I would not be a happy camper if all of that were out there in the world about me. However, we'll wait and see what happens. And it's interesting that Candace Owens has decided to weigh in on Team Tate. We'll see if history redeems her or not. Wait and see.
All right, so that's enough of that, right? Because they sitting up here plebiscite babbling. So now, how many people saw the Abba and Preach video? that they did. They did a video where they chopped up some of Criminal Lawyer React's videos, where Criminal Lawyer React is saying that Andrew Tate is self-snitching hard on camera and judge denies appeal because of video and text evidence. Now, here's the thing. Evidence of what? Because if he's charged for sex trafficking, right? That's the charge, is sex trafficking and grape. There needs to be evidence that a grape occurred. I would assume that there needs to be either an eyewitness testimony or a victim testimony or some kind of camera footage or a grape kit from the hospital or something, right? Where is any of that? All they're doing is saying this guy talks nasty on the phone. I mean, I talk nasty on the phone. They're going to come knock on my door and arrest me with my girlfriend here in the house, talking about you said this, you said that. That's the question. So let's listen to this video. And this video is kind of long.
So Andrew Tate says, you're not stupid. And he's talking to one of the victims. You're not stupid. And you can probably guess how I make so much money. I have to hide what I'm really doing. And the victim says, webcam?
See? Shit like this. You're not stupid. You can probably guess how much I make. So much money. I have to hide what I'm really doing. That doesn't say that he's doing anything illegal, but it provides speculation. It opens up a door. Jada Informant said, Blacklight, Adam22 just invited a pimp on his show. Technically, he pimps IG and OnlyFans models, but he bragged on it. I mean, and I don't understand. Why would you openly brag about some shit like that? I mean, unless he's somewhere where that's legal, you just got to be careful with that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like that could open up the door for speculation. And while they're looking at that, they'll find something else. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I think that's what might, if Andrew Tate end up getting in trouble, that's how it's going to go down. And he can't blame nobody but himself. Somebody that says that they're detached from the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand how this shit works. These motherfuckers are looking for anything to take you down. Shout out to my man, Deformed Pretty Boy. What up with it, bro? Deformed Pretty Boy says they lying about the sex trafficking. If you ask me, they haven't shown enough evidence to convince me of anything. The only thing that I've seen is Andrew Tate talking greasy. It's not like all of these other cases where they get all of these women to come out and do all this Me Too shit. Where's the Me Too women for the Andrew Tate shit? But the thing is that Andrew Tate wanted this heat, though. He went around like asking for this heat. Moving real weird. Now here it is. And he realizing that the world is correct.
And he says, I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls working on video chat. The company was fake, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. Some of the girls.
Hold on. Did you see this right here? I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls working on video chat. The company was fake, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. I really hope that all of his finances are intact. I hope that all his taxes are paid. I hope that all his accounting is on point. Oh, yeah, I seen Kelpie. Yeah, he got into a fight with Almighty Suspect. I actually did a video on that fight. Did y'all see this? Now that remember I said I think that the sex stuff is going to be speculation and stuff that they use to try to sway the media. But I think if they get him in any way, even in the technicality, that financial stuff, that's where they're going to get him at. That's where they're going to get him at. They're going to smear him with the sex, and they're going to nail him with the financial stuff.
So Andrew Tate says, you're not stupid. And he's talking to one of the victims. You're not stupid. And you can probably guess how I make so much money. I have to hide what I'm really doing. And the victim says, webcam? And he says, I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls working on video chat. The company was fake, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. Some of the girls who worked for me, I used them to do other things, to move money or illegal things.
To move money or illegal things. Why would you say all this stuff? Now remember, Andrew Tate is always talking about how not intelligent women are, but you're literally giving your criminal information, alleged criminal information, to a woman, to one of the alleged, by your qualification, not so smart people. You know what I'm saying? And now what he said is, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. So by him saying this and this being on this text, this part has now given them probably the ability to get a search warrant and literally search all of his financial records up through a certain duration of time. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree with me, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Documents, and I will never do that with you. If you aren't aware, Tate's in prison in Romania. Some people say he's innocent, other people say he's guilty. And you guys remember us? We said wait till the evidence comes out and we'll find out. Well, a lot of evidence has been coming out. That prosecutor's office in Romania has been leaking a lot. And
how can you be a prosecutor's office and leaking that much?
It's always.
Now, what's funny is that Abba and Preach are actually joking around, but Abba and Preach actually bring up a good point. How can you be a prosecutor's office and you leaking that much? Well, let's ask that question. Why would a prosecutor's office leak information? Leaking information, if you don't really have a strong case, is a good way to get the public on board with you. If you get the public on board with you, you got the court of appeal. You got the court of opinions. That's an advantage. I agree, Tia. Scorpios are being abused every day. Super facts. We're so nice and retreating out of fear. With your donation, Scorpio can fight for our rights. Super facts. Please cash app all Scorpios now. Super facts. Do that. Run them. Run them donos. You know what I'm saying?
Always do it. They do it on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, they leak what they want to the press. You have to understand.
It's a whole game.
Winning a case for them is not just winning a case. There's a lot of ego involved. These people want to win these big cases. But when the FBI says it's got a 96, 98 conviction rate, the reason why is because they like that shit on their resume. They take on cases they know they're going to win, and they only put forth the case when they know they're going to win. Yeah. And so this kind of thing right here, have you seen what they leaked?
No, I haven't seen what they leaked.
Listen, they didn't prosecute Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate prosecuted Andrew Tate. My homie was self-snitching.
Oh, that bad.
Watch the tape.
No, basically,
watch the tape.
Trafficking, we have three things.
All right, so now here's where the clip from Criminal Lawyer Reacts. And I got a couple videos of Criminal Lawyer Reacts pulled up where he talks about this. Now, like I said, this is going to go into a long stream. I can break this into two parts. You know what I'm saying? We can do the whole thing, or we can do a part 2. If you guys want to do the whole thing, give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to do 2 parts, give me a radiation emoji.
Things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and, not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's sex trafficking. Or coercion. Let's kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you. Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money. So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence, and you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important.
So basically what he's doing right here is teaching somebody how to be a pimp. Shout out to JD Informant for the $2 super chat. Make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji in the chat and show Jay some love. I believe the internet was designed for self-snitching. Yeah, me too. Do you guys, what do you guys think about this so far? This, I'm teaching people how to be a pimp, basically, is what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you. Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money. So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence, and you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important, because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
Fallacy, that's his word. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
That's a pimp.
See? Shout out to my man, James Hudson. What up with it, bro? You hear Abba? He said, that's a pimp. Or no, that was Preach. My bad. You hear Preach? He said, that's a pimp. What do you guys think so far?
That's exactly what a pimp does.
I knew some street pimps. I've known them for a long time. Straight street pimping is a completely, in fact, no, it's not a completely different game. The psychological aspect is the same. She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. At the beginning, she can, but they'll become.
See, and that's when it comes to that whole pimp game thing and shit like that. That's why the girls be calling the pimps daddy. If you watch, you know what I'm saying, like the old school shit, like Dolomite and shit like that. That's why they call them daddy and shit like that. Because you're training this individual to be psychologically dependent on you, so that you're influencing that person while they're muling, making the money, and then giving it back to you. This shit wild, man. And see, We Live on the Table says he's giving a lot of reasons to speculate he isn't too smart. And see, I agree with that. This is what I'm saying. A lot of this speculation and a lot of these issues and a lot of this going through the mud is not necessarily based on things that he may have done, because this may all be fluff, but it's based on stuff that he recklessly said. Like, bro, you put yourself largely in this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Come a point she can. But you being here, it synergizes this teamwork energy. We're going to do this together. Yeah, you go on the camera. Don't worry. I'll talk to the guys. I'm going to talk to them. We're a team. Happy, positive teamwork. There's no negative energy in this business.
You imagine you talking to this hot blonde girl and you webcam with her and you sending her messages and you find out it's actually just a bald-headed top G on the other side. You thought you were talking to a bitch named Mercedes. Turned out it's a nigga obsessed with Bugattis.
I'm just saying.
That's why. I'm sorry.
Well, the reason why I'm having this face is because the amount, I didn't realize how much foot and mouth could contain.
He's fucking up. They got all the receipts on this guy. I think it's worse.
You have to be positive.
But here go the thing, though. Is there, just because they got all this, right? Is there proof that these things actually happened? Is there proof? Like all of these things that he's self-snitching and saying, right? Where's the proof that he actually did them, though? Like, where's the partner? Where's the matching testimony? Where is all of that stuff? Where's any of it? Security camera footage. Where is it?
So by you typing for the girl, you maximize your money, and also she believes she needs you, which is extremely important. Another reason you use Chatterbait is because they will pay you in Bitcoin. And this is amazing because you've all seen the thought audit shit that's going on. You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult.
See, it's that whole avoiding taxes. And it's not legal to do that.
So in the last 6 months, Checkrate have released the Bitcoin option. So they'll pay you in Bitcoin. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think so far?
So
how many people have seen this? If you guys saw this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't see this, give me a thumbs down. If you just heard about it in passing, let me know. See, this is the detailed stuff here.
You need to pay tax to anybody. Tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I give them 3, and I keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said, the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, we get to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. So really you're paying 30, you tell them you're paying 50, the difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you, they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I see this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Ooh, okay. And they just sign away. I don't know what fucking signing. Let's throw them away.
Right. Now, I can agree with that to an extent, Deformed Pretty Boy. Deformed Pretty Boy said that's what he did, but man, he didn't force them. Manipulated, maybe. Forced, no way. Now, here's where a lot of the force part comes in, right? One of the things that they're saying is that he tricked women into getting there, but then when they got there and some of the ones that wanted to leave, he wouldn't allow them to have their passports. Now, I don't know if that's just speculation. I don't know if there's any evidence of that, but that's just what I've heard. Now, if he did that and some evidence of that comes out, I don't know what's going to happen. But I think that it's just speculation so far. And that's exactly what I'm saying. The only thing is, did he actually do what they're talking about? Right. And see, that's what I keep asking. Okay, I hear what he's saying. Now, where's the evidence to substantiate it? And the only thing they keep doing is just keep getting clips of him saying things, but I haven't seen any evidence attached. You see what I'm saying?
Something's happening. Something real is happening. Nothing's happening.
Jay said he did that shit.
He's already admitted to tax evasion and fraud.
I mean, it's not a mission.
This is a course he's running. He's teaching people.
That's what he's teaching. He doesn't mean he's doing that now.
Right.
I'm just playing devil's.
And see, and that's what
it's a very hard job.
And that's what Keep It 100 was saying. Keep It 100 was saying, but the law now says pimping is human sex trafficking, right? Which, again, because of the way that the law is manipulated, matching that with some of the things that Andrew Tate have said, if they have a witness testimony or are able to find some evidence or some video information or some, something like that, it could be some issues going on. So I'm interested. But my thing is, I think if they had a better case, they wouldn't be releasing these bits and pieces. They know that if they release a lot of this stuff, content creators that have a lot of subscribers like Criminal Lawyer Reacts and people that have a lot of subscribers like Abba and Preach are going to react to these kind of videos. The news channels are going to react to these kind of videos, and it's going to really sway the public opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
So
hey.
He said that's what he was doing with these girls. That's what he said he was doing.
Yeah.
The women saying he did this to us.
Oh.
What, you think they're going to look at the bank?
Wait, hold on real quick. What did Abba say?
It's a very hard job. I'm not.
So
hey.
He said that's what he was doing with these girls. That's what he said he was doing.
Yeah.
The women saying he did this to us.
Oh.
What, you think they're going to look at the bank records and see that the money, he was paying them 50-50? What you?
So is Abba implying that some girls have said that he did this? Jay said, man, I stopped following those two clowns. Well, because of the Slim Clown a year ago, because of Abba. What happened? Why you stopped following because of Abba? You got to tell us the story now. Deformed Pretty Boy says, man, all the self-proclaimed pimps on YouTube, and they targeted him because he got the feminist mad, and YouTube CEO is a polished one of them folks feminist. It could be. Did Andrew Tate ever actually have a YouTube channel though? Did he have a channel, or did or do people just upload like clips of him? He did. He had a channel called it was called Club Tate or something like that, didn't he? I do remember he did. He had two channels, I think, now, because I think that video that I seen that Grind and Motivate did, I think he reacted to the original Andrew Tate channel.
Let's be honest. If someone admits to what they're doing, just believe them.
But to his defense, I got nothing.
Guys, he's self-snitching.
So what you're telling me
right,
is that
exactly, DeAndre. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why they leaked that stuff out. And it will give the perspectives that people wouldn't usually hear. Like if Rob had $1 million, the perspectives could be different. Exactly. Because my perspective would be, get the damn evidence and then make the decision. Don't just say anything because you hear other people saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Frauding the girls and defrauding the government. Is that what you're saying?
I just want you guys to understand, like, just here, we're not even going to the human.
Where's Izzy when you need him to be the insider?
This man was stealing from the people that were working for him.
Izzy probably kicking
right there. He didn't even care. He said, I'm getting rich, bitch. Fuck you. He didn't care. He was stealing from it. If that's your job, how would you feel about that? Would you not want this person charged for that crime? Listen,
that is actually a great question. The only difference that I would say between those two is that Andrew Tate actually had money and shit to show for it. Like he actually had nice cars and a dope ass crib and dressed nice and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Andrew Tate actually had shit. You know what I'm saying?
$1 an hour from me, I'd be pissed. Thousands every single month.
Something real is happening. Nothing's happening except media coverage page. You have to girls. You cannot do a business relationship with a female. And I'll tell you why. Women have sex with somebody. If they're not fucking you, they're fucking somebody else. And that other person she's fucking is going to have the control over her mind as opposed to you. And if he controls her mind and you don't control her mind, once she starts to pick it up a bit after a few weeks, a few months, whatever, and realizes how to make money on her own, or she's going to run off and pay her boyfriend, or them two are going to go traveling in Southeast Asia and she's going to work as she goes, or she's going to go to her boyfriend and say, look, fuck it, you type for me. Oh yeah, you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. You're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. So I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? That was the girl that recruited for Jeffrey Epstein.
So would you guys agree that what Andrew Tate is talking about right there, that little segment that they just played, they're going to say that that's quote unquote grooming? And you can see it seems like that's where Criminal Lawyer Reacts is going with that, because he's bringing up Ghislaine Maxwell.
It's identical to what he's talking about here.
You guys remember? So this is why this is important, this portion right here. It doesn't prove anything, but it is one of the little pieces of evidence that they add in for the whole trafficking charge. Basically, he has a woman, okay, who used to be a former police officer in Romania. She's the one who does the recruiting, the managing of the women. Why? Because women are much more likely to be roped into these kinds of things if they're hearing it from another woman. So when he sets up his organization, right, because they're accusing him of running a criminal organization, he has the woman who he calls his bondage, right, to recruit the other women. Okay, now, There's some transcripts because they did some wiretaps. They seize their phone. They seize all their technology. So there's some conversations that they're using now. I want you to also know the context of the country's in.
All right, so here's the question before we get into these conversations. How many of you guys have heard the wiretap conversations, the wiretap Andrew Tate conversations? If you guys heard them, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not hear them, give me a thumbs down. Now, I didn't know that they had also arrested those 2 women in the raid. Did you guys know about that? Now, since they arrested those women in the raid, I'm curious as to what all those women have said. I'm curious as to what all those women have said. Do you guys think that those women have given any evidence or said anything or given any testimonies or anything like that? What do you guys think?
Andrew Tate is a foreigner living in Romania as a rich person.
Trying to fucking steal from the government?
And he's also spoken about the reason why he left the UK to go to Romania is because, you know what I mean, laws are a little bit lax. They're not like, it's not as repressive. So this is how he talks about Romania and going to jail there. Okay, this is pulled from his PC, and then there was a leak to the press. Okay, so this is something that they got.
Romanian court, so there's some, oh no, not court in Romania. Dude, they're corruption free, as we all know. They put me in jail. I'm gonna walk in there with a pile of money like this. Boom, boom, get some hoes. This sells mine. I'm ready. Put me in jail. I don't give a fuck. You take the court case. Shut up. Get me out of jail. So law says you're guilty.
Well. That didn't age very well, did it?
Andrew Tate is a foreigner living in Romania as a rich person.
Trying to fucking steal from the government?
And he's also spoken about the reason why he left the UK to go to Romania is because, you know what I mean, laws are a little bit lax. They're not like, it's not as repressive. So this is how he talks about Romania and going to jail there. Okay, this is pulled from his PC, and then there was a leak to the press. Okay, so this is something that they got.
Romanian court, so there's some, oh no, not court in Romania. Dude, they're corruption free, as we all know. They put me in jail. I'm gonna walk in there with a pile of money like this. Boom, boom, get some hoes. This sells mine. I'm ready. Put me in jail. I don't give a fuck. You take the court case. Shut up. Get me out of jail. So law says you're guilty. I said get me out of jail. Don't go see a lawyer to talk about the law. I have committed multiple felonies. How much does it cost to make this all go away?
What do you guys think? Man, when you go back and look at the stuff, see, like, that's why it's so important to pay attention to what you say. This is not like, this is not a great time for people to be listening to those old videos. You know what I mean? Like, that is not the business right now, man. You know what I'm saying? That is not the business. That is not helping him at all.
Also, when you're real G's, that you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You gotta go to Poland, you gotta go to Warsaw, fucking Dubai, Miami. Anyone who watches State Confidential knows I'm all over the place. So I end up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there, bored, completely in love with me. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house.
They're not allowed out. You stay in the house. Now, one thing that opens up the door to where they're going to be asking questions of, is that consensual? Hope one of these chicks don't get an attitude with him. You know what I'm saying?
Boom, get some hoes. This sells mine. I'm ready. Put me in jail. I don't give a fuck. You take the court case. Shut up. Get me out of jail. So law says you're guilty. I said get me out of jail. Don't go see a lawyer to talk about the law. I've committed multiple felonies. How much does it cost to make this all go away?
Also, when you're real G's, that you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You gotta go to Poland, you gotta go to Warsaw, fucking Dubai, Miami. Anyone who watches State Confidential knows I'm all over the place. So I end up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there, bored, completely in love with me. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, no clubs, nothing.
But here's even the kicker. Looking at private videos that are part of the police file, from the following passages from the context of this content, there is no doubt a deep lack of respect for the legal norms and a total indifference to the social protected values that the defendant gives proof of. Also, the attitude of disregard towards women in general, which he perceives only as a means of getting his content released. In other words, making money. The judge cannot agree with the support of the defense in the sense that the video contents presents only one character and cannot be taken into account since the defendant exhibits the same attitude in the relations with the injured persons and is evident from the content of the conversations that are in these criminal prosecution files.
Basically, the judge like, nah, the way you act in real life is how you're talking about these videos. So I'm not going to not use them as evidence. I cannot use them as evidence because they match. Let's get to the transcripts. Because people are saying...
Wait, you got more?
Oh, man. When I say, listen, and just a pro tip, if you're a criminal watching, do not use WhatsApp, okay? Do not use WhatsApp to do any of your criminal activity. They keep a record. There are records, there are logs. It's easily traceable. Okay?
Bro, I'm going to tell you this. Don't use your phone. Do not use your phone. I'm talking about, I've had friends that were in instances where they crossed the borders and they have certain software that can tap in your phone and get the deleted items. You can always go get the deleted items. So that's the reason why they have burner phones. Don't use your phone. Actually, you have to use a phone, crack it, and keep on going. You know those flip phones? That's pretty much what you would have to use.
All right.
But,
so,
yeah, I digress.
So these are leaked transcripts from the stenographer, either in the court case or leaked from the prosecutor's office. The reason why they're doing this is they like the media attention being involved in this. The prosecutor may probably have some ego involved, and he wants to let everybody know, I'm going to be the person who takes down Andrew Tate. And listen, it only matters if he's got evidence to back it up, and he's done some digging. And it seems that during their 8 months of searching and their raids on the compound, they found quite a lot.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is how Andrew Tate apparently manipulates one of the victims into flying to Romania by promising marriage. Then discusses said victim as a commodity to be used for making money. Andrew Tate says, you have to understand once you're mine, might be mine forever. A woman never leaves her man, and I'll be the last man in your life. What do we do if we fall in love and I kidnap you to bring you to Bucharest? And then the girl replies, I don't think it's kidnapping if I want to come. First, I have to see in your eyes that you will never be able to live without me, and then I can trust you to show you everything. Bring a ring when you come. This is what the girl said. He says, can you be loving enough to be a wife, to always be on my side wherever I go, to talk to zero men besides me? You have to move to Romania with me to keep an eye on you. You're mine. Don't ever forget that. And she says, but can I trust you? He says, yes, you can. We'll meet in Romania, and I want to know you're committed and serious about marriage. Yes, I'm serious. And when she gets there, he's like, well, we're not getting married. I want to turn you into a cam girl. Okay. So they're basically establishing that the way that he's getting these people involved in the whole business is through fraud. And if you remember what the guy said earlier in regards to some of the criteria that need to be met. Okay.
So again, you see what they're doing is they're taking the fraud angle. Right. DeAndre said, bruh, he thinks because of his complexion, he was protected. Facts. Facts. He finding out the world is correct.
Them is fraud. And that's what they're trying to establish with these conversations when they're released. So even though this conversation doesn't seem bad to you.
Now, see, again, remember what I told you? It's going to be that technical financial stuff that will probably be the nail in the coffin if there ends up being a nail in the coffin. It's not going to be all of the stuff that everybody is oohing and eyeing about. It'll be one of those little sentences on line 2A that somebody doesn't do that is a felony that causes you to be in jail for 10 years and a $500,000 fine. That's what's going to end up happening. And because of the way he was talking and opening up all of these doors for people to open in, it's going to make it easier to go through that stuff with a fine-tooth comb and find something off somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
You have to understand by the letter of the law and how they define human trafficking. This is one of those elements that they might incorporate in order to make that charge stick. Basically, he wasn't telling these people, hey, I'm running a cam business, come down. He's like, I want to marry you. You're going to fall in love with me. You're going to fall in love with me. He gets them all the way down to Romania inside of his compound. Then he springs it on him with who? His modern. So Andrew Tate says, you're not stupid. And he's talking to one of the victims. You're not stupid. And you can probably guess how I make so much money. I have to hire.
So they keep talking in terms of victims, right? So if they're talking in terms of victims, I'm assuming they must actually have some people, some women that are going to be doing some testimony. So I'm curious to see how this goes when it rolls out. Shout out to my man Terrence. Right. Deformed Pretty Boy says women don't want jail because now they can apply RICO if you have a stable now. Yeah, facts. And Terrence is absolutely right. Money is how most criminals get caught. Al Capone was the first to learn that. Facts. They got Al Capone on tax evasion, didn't they? All the money in the world, and they don't buy a tax accountant, and they don't buy a tax lawyer. Like, before you buy any of those cars, before you buy any of those houses, before you buy anything, man, once you get your first big, giant, substantial amount of money, man, get somebody to make sure your books are legal. Man, if your boy ever has the kind of YouTube subscribership that allows me to live an affluent life, that is like before I do anything, that is the first thing that I plan to do. I'm going to make sure all my I's are dotted, and I'm going to make sure all my T's are crossed.
What I'm really doing. And the victim says, webcam? And he says, I've been doing this for a long time with a team of girls working on video chat. The company was fake, but this is how I laundered my dirty money. Some of the girls who worked for me, I use them to do other things, to move money or illegal things, documents, and I will never do that with you. Basically telling the girl, you're different from the others. I make them do the really illegal stuff. Again, they have it right here in the wiretaps, okay? Him admitting to this stuff. This is going to be used in court, and you're going to have a hard time explaining this one away. What is this money laundering that you were doing?
Let me ask you guys a question. If they live stream the Andrew Tate trial, would you guys be interested in me keeping up with that and doing live streams of the trial live? If that's something that you guys would be interested in, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, give me a thumbs down.
Can't go to the court and be like, hey, what happened was scratch your head and
yeah.
figure shit out.
Okay, so now here comes the next part. This is I think the biggest one. Tate's angels, meaning the bottom, the two women.
Oh, you already know I'm gonna be trolling.
I mean, that's what they call them, bro. What would you want me to say? This is what it reads.
It wouldn't be me if I didn't troll.
Hey, man, listen. These are the women who work for him. The Ghislaine Maxwells. If you don't make money, we're going to have a problem. Punch yourself in the mouth until I arrive, because then I'll give you another 10, you incurable fucker. And the other girl says, I'll break you when I get there.
DeAndre said, yeah, Rob, you ain't going to spend the money on a Cuban link like TD did with the soundboard fund. Family, the money gone. I'm spending that, man. I'm spending that money to make sure my record is like everything will be squeaky clean. Not only would I get my record and everything, like I would pay to get all my I's dotted, all my T's crossed. And then I would also pay to like literally erase like every single trace of myself except for a dot. Like I would completely wipe every possible anything clean that I could. Like I would do that. That would be worth the money.
The victim says, what did I do? And the bottom is, you have 1 hour and 10 minutes to disappear. And the victim says, but what did I do? You're down 20%, 4 days since you posted. And she says, if Andrew looks to see you, if you posted TikToks, you won't even have time to pack. You're flying off the balcony straight away. So what does this conversation really mean? This is where this is important. It might not mean much to y'all because you're like, well, when they're taking this in conjunction with everything else, the fraud element involved, the coercion element, the aspect of like lying about what they're really going to be doing there, the fact that this girl who works for Tate is saying she's going to be punching the girl 10 times when she gets there, that there's these threats of violence, the one saying like, Andrew Tate gets home, you're going to be flying off the balcony. Is that literally? Probably not, but there is some element there of threats of potential violence if you don't do what's needed. When you take that to court, and these are conversations that are happening in private, you understand? They're going to take this into strong consideration when they're making.
Abba said, you understand me?
In their case, they're gonna be like, how do you explain this stuff? Oh, we're just joking. We're not going to actually make her. Well, then why is the victim terrified? Oh, she's just lying and making. You think that's going to really be a real defense in court?
You know, the thing is, there's some people that are not going to believe that.
Of course.
There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be like, yeah, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. And you know why? Because they actually talk like that. They talk like that with their girls. The girls, I'm saying guys, but I'm talking girls do the same shit. Oh my God, I swear, I'm going to punch you in your mouth. And people talk like that on a regular basis. I was astonished at the language that some people use with their friends or with their loved ones. Yeah, but it's just, I'm just talking. It's just this, it's just that. Whenever you talk to them or whenever you check them, so, yo, listen, you cannot talk to me any kind of way. You can't talk to me about you're going to punch me in my face.
And see, like, what's funny is like Abba and them, they keep talking about like the violence, right? And like the sexual stuff. I'm telling you, it's probably going to be that financial stuff that does it. It's going to be that financial stuff.
You can't tell me that you're going to kick me in my throat. You can't do shit like that. But you know, man, it's just talk. It ain't real.
These people are going to be super motivated to do this. Tate moved from the UK to Romania because the justice in the UK said it was too prejudicial and they were going to come after him strong. Romania is more lax. You went to Romania, acted a fool, want to say anything and do anything and engage in illegal activity. Listen, you fucked around and you found out. You got to hold that L. Nobody told you to self-snitch.
That's what I said right there. Do you guys agree with Abba? If you guys agree with Abba, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Abba, give me a thumbs down. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. I agree, though. I agree. Now, it's not obvious, or also it's not verified that he actually self-snitched, because if he self-snitched, that basically means he told on himself for an act that he committed. The only thing that we know is that he said those things. We don't have the actual evidence that says that he committed those acts. However, him saying those things opened up the door for the vulnerability of all of this microscope into his life to happen. And he did that to himself. That is what I keep saying. You know what I'm saying? He contributed to a lot of this stuff on that rah-rah shit and on that hot shit. Like, he was super duper extra. Like, seriously, bro. Super duper extra. Just because it sounds good don't mean that you should say it. Just because it looks good doesn't mean that you should do it. Or else you're going to find out the hard way that the world is correct.
That's not fucked around. That's not
like people around. Just getting on camera and just calmly admitting to criminal activity is so crazy to me. People say, why would anybody do that? Why would people do that and be a public personality? Because some people got ego. Because some people don't know how to stay away from the fucking cameras because they head too big. Look at Sam Banks,
man,
right? Dude ran FT.
Bro. DeAndre says, exactly. He spoke on that shit because he probably thought it was going to get him clout. This is like the worst possible scenario of clout chasing gone wrong. Would you guys agree? This is the worst. Like, this is the worst case scenario of clout chasing gone wrong. This is clout chasing gone horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. Yeah, facts. Like Abby said, what's that Chappelle skit? When keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah. Who made that song called Gorilla Pimp? Was it A-Ball and MJG? I think they had a did A-Ball and MJG have a song called Gorilla Pimp? Yeah, he was gorilla pimping.
TX turned out to be a big old fraudster. After the fraud was discovered, you know what this idiot was doing?
Speaking of FTX, that's a video that it was Project Pat. Okay. Speaking of FTX, I didn't get a chance to do a video about FTX, but I just thought that I wanted to make this point to you guys. Did you know that old boy that they just had up on the screen, his girlfriend was going ham, like how Megan Hall was going ham? They had all kind of brothel activity going on. She was busting it open for the roommates. Like, it was going ham. It was like Nerds Gone Wild up in that FTX shit. They had like some type of swinger shit going on. Like, it was crazy. And with the nerds, like, the chick was a nerd. Like, she was a straight goofball looking chick. Like, she kind of like lightweight, looked like Megan Hall, but with glasses. Getting busy. getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Man, I didn't get a chance to do that video, man. I'm so mad I didn't get a chance to do a video because, man, I was about to fry them too, man. But I didn't get a chance to do that video, though. But she was getting with it. Man, the Dave Chappelle show, listen, man, a lot of the comedians are very accurate. And if you ask me, it's because in order to be a comedian, you have to be extremely intelligent. You have to actually have a very good perception, and you have to also have a very in-depth and unique understanding of reality. You know what I'm saying?
He was getting on live television doing interviews, incriminating himself further. And those interviews that he did after being found out are going to be used against him in court. Why? Because some people can't stop themselves from doing stupid fucking things. And I'm sure if he had a lawyer at the time and caught, like, telling him what to do, they would say, don't do any interviews. But he couldn't help himself. Why? Because his ego.
I'm just really here to see where it goes. I'm gonna see where it goes. Cause like
that's where I'm at. I'm with Preach. I want to see where it goes. I want to see what happens. I want to see where it goes. What do you guys think? How many of y'all think he's guilty and how many of y'all think he's innocent? If you think that Andrew Tate is innocent, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you think that Andrew Tate is guilty, give me an angry face in the comment section.
But said, if that's what they leaking to the press, they got some bigger thing. Bangers, bars.
Now, see, that's funny that Preach says that, because I disagree. I don't agree with Preach. I think that if they're leaking stuff to the press, this is the best that they got. And they're using this as gaslighting. Jay said he guilty. Tia says she's not sure. Abby says he's a creep and probably did most of what was said, but he's going to get caught up on the money shit like you said. We Live on a Table says don't know. Jay said, was that the ugly nerdy chick he dated? Yeah, you talking about FTX's CEO? Yeah. Andre said, I'm indifferent. Yeah, no doubt. I think that if he gets knocked up, it's going to be on the fraud and the finance stuff. So you're suspecting that the government wants people to come forward? Who are you talking about? The Romanian government? Yeah, the Romanian government, since they're the ones that's bringing the case, they probably want anybody that they can get, and they'll probably take anybody that they can get as well. You know what I'm saying?
Jail bars, but they got something bigger, and what they're going to do to court is going to be something else. It's going to be something crazier. If that's what they choose to leak to court, anyways, all that to say, I'll wait. I'll stand by here. It's just there's a lot of Kanye complex that I call whenever you go on a podcast and you say, I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want, and they can't unwork with me. And then he said some outlandish shit and it was like, well, let's drop your ass. And everybody started dropping, and nobody wants to work. That's the same kind of complex. Hey, I can walk in this country and do whatever the hell I want. I can pay this, I can pay that, I can do this, top G in the building. Yay. And then this will happen.
And now he's in a Romanian jail cell with 30 other dudes in a toilet in the middle where everyone got to watch each other's shit. Hey, listen.
But it don't look good.
Hey, listen. Them transcripts, once I...
Hey, is that really how the Romanian jail is? Is a whole bunch of... the toilet is in the middle of the jail and everybody is like open and everybody watch you shit? Like, that's crazy.
Seen that video of him snitching? I said, it don't matter what I think.
You know what it looked like?
I know he didn't pay his taxes. One, because he said he didn't pay his taxes.
And he didn't pay people.
And he didn't pay people because he admits to stealing their money.
That's not even if they can prove that he was abusing motherfuckers.
Forget that.
If they can...
See, I've been Preacher saying the same. Preach just said the same shit that I'm saying. It's not even about if he did anything. That money shit.
But it don't look good.
Hey, listen. Them transcripts, once I seen that video of him snitching, I said, it don't matter what I think.
You know what it looked like?
I know he didn't pay his taxes. One, Because he said he didn't pay his taxes.
And he didn't pay people.
And he didn't pay people. Because he admits to stealing their money.
That's not even if they can prove that he was abusing motherfuckers.
Forget that.
If they can just yeah, I understand that. Just on those two, on the basis of those two things. Oh, but if it's just like a tuna casserole. It don't look good.
It's just like a tuna casserole. It don't look good. So there's that Vice. The Vice documentary. I had some of the videos up from Criminal Lawyer Reacts, but honestly, if you ask me, like I think that Abba and Preach video pretty much gave us all the information that we need for the speculations right now. TD Hip Hop Media said that Romanian jail sounds lit. Man, that Romanian, man, listen, I wouldn't want to go to no damn jail in Romania. I don't, nah, that would be wild right there. No. I'm so good on that. I'm so good on it. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. We're going to speed this up to 1.5 speed. And we're going to check out this Vice documentary. Now, I don't know if everything on this Vice documentary is 100% accurate, but I heard that it's a lot of BS in it. And then I heard some people say that it's actually really good. We're going to check it out. But what I find fascinating is that the second sentence in this Vice documentary is a sentence that says Andrew Tate is an Anglo. Now, let's just get this nailed down. What is an Anglo? Does anybody know what an Anglo is? And you'll hear it. Here it comes.
Do you ever wonder why some people who you've never heard of before all of a sudden appear everywhere?
Andrew Tate! Hey, one of these days, I'm going to just surprise y'all. I'm going to start live streaming, and I'm going to actually live stream like my voice is on 1x, like on 1.5x. I'm going to be like, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Rob. Come back at you once again with another live stream. So before you get started, you already know what to do. If you haven't subscribed, hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share the video out to all your subscribers. What we're going to be talking about today is this article. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the Ben Shapiro shit. Because when you speed these up to 1.5, it sounds like how Ben Shapiro sounds when he's on normal speed. So that way, maybe I could cut the time of the live stream down from like about an hour to about a half hour. So I can sleep a little bit longer. So I can lay my lazy ass on the couch a little bit longer and eat sandwiches. What y'all think?
Andrew Tate and his brother finally led to an arrest on the 29th of December.
The Matrix has attacked me.
Police accused.
Yo, this dude is getting walked out by Romanian police, and he's sit up there talking about some Matrix is attacking him. Like, bro, you're not in your little social media zone anymore. Like, it's serious now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting walked out by the squad. Yeah, nah, I get it. And like I said, like you know what I'm saying? He just, when I first seen the video, when Grind and Motivate had did that video about him, I think it was like 2 years ago. He just came off as just, bro, you off the hook. Like you wilding a little bit too hard. You know what I'm saying? DJ Elmo says CPS means Crown Prosecution Service in UK. Oh, what is that? Is that like the feds?
Them of using the Loverboy method to traffic at least 6 women into a Romania-based webcam sex business. But we now know similar allegations have dogged Tate for years. His followers are obsessed with the idea that the Matrix is conspiring against him. But if anyone in the story is the victim of a conspiracy, is it the multi...
You know what? That's interesting, DIY Queen, and I actually agree with that. I actually agree with that. She knew what it was when she went there. Just like those guys that go there and pay $5,000 to get their ass beat, they know what it is when they went there too. Everybody know what it is when they get there. You see Andrew Tate online, you hear exactly what he's saying. He used to post videos on social media. You know what I mean? You wasn't confused about a damn thing. She's just not trying to take any responsibility. You understand me? You know it's real when the police with the ski mask icon come to get you. You know what I'm saying? You understand me? Yeah, that's when you know it's real. That's when you start flushing them bricks down the toilet. That's when you start. That's when the bathrooms start looking like a flower factory. You know what I'm saying? You flushing them bricks down the toilet. It's all kind of crack particles all in the air. You know what I'm saying? The ski mask police. That's why they had them ski masks on. looking like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. Ghost Walker said, "Me taking a man off the ledge isn't my problem. When there's a target on my back, I'm hunting for the shooter, not some undisclosed suicide case. For number for pride, I say unless us, then be." Yeah, no, I agree. Super facts. Facts, Mike. Honorary whiteness is a hell of a drug. Andrew needs to hop off that. Yeah. Yeah, big facts. And see, that's what I was saying about when he came out with that statement. He was talking all crazy, sounding like a damn rat on Adderall, sounding all fast like somebody had sped up the damn video, talking about white males are the most prosecuted, or white males were the most judged, or something like that. Any of these dudes that say that, they're the next ones that get hit with the fentanyl. Like TD be saying, they got hit with the fentanyl. They hit Kanye with the fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? They hit Andrew Tate with the ski mask. You know what I'm saying?
Millionaire celebrity? Or is it the women who claim they were abandoned by the system?
You know, you see all these young men talking about how he's such a great guy and he's their idol and stuff, and that's so difficult to see.
Do you guys think that the women flew there because they wanted to see what kind of great guy Andrew Tate was? A lot of times, a lot of women like that, they like bad boys and shit. Andrew Tate is he has the manufactured bad boy personality. So I think they was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to go out here and, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get bust down by this bad boy and see what he got to offer and run up a check, whatever. And then got out there and it got real. And the ski and the ski mask police was watching you and had your phone tapped the whole time. Bruh, if you ever get pulled over and instead of grabbing his notepad, that motherfucker pull a mask down over his face, oh, it's a wrap, bruh. Matter of fact, the body cam don't show if they got the ski mask on, bro. You never know if the police got the ski mask on while they chasing you on them body cam videos. So you never know, like all them cats that be them cats that be tweaking. It might have been the ski mask police that rolled up on them. That's how you know it's real. That's when them survival instincts, that fight or flight kick in. You know what I'm saying? That excitable delirium.
There are better role models out there. Don't be fooled by all the money and the nice cars and all the women. Working on yourself and becoming a better man and better mindset. Yeah, but real men don't lay their hands on women.
Yeah, so that, you know, they did that right there. Look at this. Shout out to Tori and Rain. Well, we know you finished your workout fast, bro. We seen the video. Did y'all see the Tori and Rain workout video yet? Shout out to Tori and Rain, man. He need to do like a triathlon or something. He'll probably finish it in like 2 minutes. Oh yeah. That's big facts. The ski mask, them the motherfuckers that keep taking down El Chapo and shit. The ski mask, the ski mask police. Yeah, for sure. They look, bro. Why the ski mask police be having on camouflage pants and shit like that? It's really serious. They be taking down the cartels. They come in helicopters and shit. Sometimes the motherfuckers be hanging off the helicopter with one arm and a big ass AR-15 pointed down at you. You like, oh, this ain't the police. We already know that the police is a hit squad, but this is some other shit. Like this, like the police SEALs. The ski mask police is goons. Facts. They look like the executioner on that game Pitfall. It is. Hold on real quick. Hey, have you ever seen the COVID police officers? The COVID mask police? This shit right here. This that shit TD talking about. Wait a minute. This shit right here. This is when you know it's a wrap. You see these motherfuckers getting out the car. You're done. This motherfucker right here got he got a ski mask. This dude right here got I don't know what this thing, he got a damn dominatrix mask on. Yo, when the dominatrix mask police officers come to get you, like this motherfucker right here on the right side, bruh, it's bad. What kind of search you about to do? The COVID police, bad. The COVID police wasn't playing. They had tasers. They had electrical batons and shit. Stars Bravo team, facts. Look at that. And the police officer in the middle look like a damn supervillain. Look at his evil looking ass. Those are sheriffs. They got the sheriff shirt right, or the sheriff written right down their arm and shit. That's a damn gang right there. The thugs in ski masks. Those the ones that come up in an SUV too. They be in a GMC Yukon with no damn markings on it, and it just says it'll just say the state. Like that shit don't say no county or nothing on it. It'll just say Ohio, and then it'll be like 4 numbers written in red, like 1534. Like, this ain't no, the fuck is that? Those the real goons. When the police pull up on you and they don't have a regular license plate, that should just say what state it is. You're done. You may as well retire. It's a wrap. Whatever you were doing, you're not about to be doing that for about 5 to 10. Yo, TD, this Thursday when we do Just Talking, we should do most lethal police teams. We should do a little one-off video and make it all dramatic, like how them channels with 1 million subscribers be making their videos. The 10 most dangerous ski mask police departments. 1/18/2023. During a Blacklight Revelations YouTube broadcast, the topic of ski mask police were brought up. And this is what we found. Number 5, Suarez, Mexico, home of the cartels, gangbangers, and drug dealers. People say that in the deserts of Suarez, sometimes you can trip, and when you look down, it'll be somebody's skull detached from their bodies that you tripped over. Many Mexican cartels such as MS-13 and La M operate in a 50-mile radius, and they've been taken down by the Mexican military and the CIA. Number 5, the LA police, most notoriously known for the LA riots and the Rodney King beating. The LA riots are a full-on gang squad equipped with nicknames, the Executioners and the Banditos. They're led by a police officer, a sheriff who's corrupt to the core, named Alex Villanueva. That'd be hilarious. You know how they always do that? Number 5. Number 4. And then at number 3, you always got to say, keep watching if you want to see the one. If you want to make it to number 1, and be sure to leave a like and hit the bell so you get more videos from TD and Rob. Oh man, that shit is funny, man. The ski mask police, man, that's scary, man. Could you imagine if you woke up and they were standing over you? You know, you about that. Them the motherfuckers that came in with Denzel on training day. Those police officers, Denzel Washington is their boss. So you already know it's not about to go good, because he about to kill one of them probably, and then he about to kill you. So, ladies and gentlemen, players and pimps, Andrew Tate still has not figured out that the world is correct. But I'm glad all of you guys know that. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right? Peace.